Hello everyone, welcome to ALR, and I think I've had a controller up. Ooh. Hello everyone. I've had a control. It looks like that we've had an update on the PlayStation, which means that I have to now unmute myself when I go live, which is very annoying, I gotta say. So I've been speaking absolute nonsense there for basically for the last 10 minutes there. So that's a bit annoying, isn't it? So yeah, that's good. That's not great, is it? But anyway, here we go then. Let's get on with this, shall we? Of course, then. So yes, we are here in Belgium then for the Belgian Grand Prix. And let me just repeat what I've been saying for the past 5 minutes, shall we? Yes. So, but we've had rain affected sessions in all 3 sessions so far of ALR Gold, Silver, and Bronze. We've had Gold. We've had rain affected races in rain affected qualifying in Gold, and a rain affected qualifying in Silver as well. And we had a rain affected race in Bronze, didn't we? It was I gotta say, rain has been very much of the it's very much been the MO of Belgium, isn't it? You shouldn't be too surprised by that, because Belgium does have its own weather forecast system, doesn't it? There seems to be rain all the time here in Belgium, doesn't it? And look at over the years in Formula One history, you get you almost get rain like almost every time here, don't you? Whether that's in qualifying or the race, absolutely fantastic, isn't it? So I expect a lot of the drivers then to have done a bit of wet weather testing then. Wet weather practice, I should say. So this is the longest circuit on the Formula One calendar, on the ALR calendar. This is the first time that Cobalt has has actually raced around here. So it's a 7-kilometer long circuit. No lap record then for the Cobalters, but it's a 1:46.286, which is set by Bottas back in 2018. Of course, I'm expecting that to be shattered here tonight then, because I do expect the Cobalters to be a bit quicker than that then. Right, then we have got a 5-minute delay, of course, then, which is quite good actually for me, because I was running late coming from home then. As Jamie alright said, first into the stream, we'd love to see it then. Bulky, yo, is good stuff indeed then, Bulky. We got a flood, a flood in the toilet, and I am here watching ALR. Good stuff indeed then. Jamie reckons it's going to be Bulky for pole position. Jamie and Bulky have been practicing together then, so very interesting stuff to see then. And Jamie had a perfect strategy last night, didn't he, in the wet dry race then? So Jamie will have both have all 4 corners covered, I think, in the Belgian Grand Prix. So Bulky will be coming into this in a very good stead as well. Remember, Bulky was absolutely fantastic in the wet a week ago in Hungary as well. But it may not rain here tonight then. I am assuming that we're going to get wet weather. Since we've had 3 wet rain affected races thus far, aren't we? Yes, I am woke up then. Yes, and Jamie tells me that commentators, you need to talk. Yes, I do need to talk then. As yes, it is wakey time for school. Good stuff indeed then. Bulky for pole position. Gordo, hello, good evening, Gordo. And then Kaz is saying good luck to drivers and Diashi. Great to be back again. It's the first time Diashi's raced in about 3, 4, 5 weeks in ALR, so it's good to see Diashi back in this set. And remember, Diashi was a very quick customer in Bronze, wasn't he? Remember, the Singapore Grand Prix was where Diashi really took me by surprise, and with a fantastic performance in Singapore as well, because he was magnificent that day as well, running as high as third, and should have got on the podium as well. But I think that towards the end, and there was just a bit of rotten luck, if I'm not very much mistaken. Then, as Buggy saying, please lend me strength. And we got Serious Russian. Hello and good luck to all. Keep off nuts and Sean. We've also keep the nuts in. We've also got DJ Titch. Big shout out to Kaz and good luck to everyone. And also thank you to DJ Titch and for our as I think you subscribed to us on Monday, but couldn't find the email. Luckily, I did find it today when I was at work. So you can see I've actually done something useful today. Jamie's saying good luck to Bulk as well then. And do I like caps? I love caps. Unfortunately, I do love caps actually. That's the way you get people's attention, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, we are almost ready to get going then. Let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? Before we get into the session itself. And don't worry, everyone, I've taken my motion sickness tablets tonight, so I shouldn't be wandered off to the loo to puke my guts up or anything like that, which was quite appalling, really, wasn't it? Let's hope that that's not the case either. Let's hope that's not the case here tonight. And Zachary Sullivan saying, let's put on a good show for the viewers. And I hope you do, guys, because you put on a great show last week. I think that it was one of the best races I've commentated on. Absolutely fantastic. The the dry to wet race was brilliant last week, wasn't it? DJ Titch, yes, mates, and yes, mate, and thanks. And good to have you along for the ride then, DJ Titch, and I hope you enjoy enjoy the session as well. So Jim Stratham, 20th on the grid last week, came through to win the Hungarian Grand Prix, didn't he? And he's now 12 points in front of Starbust, who is in second position. Brooksy in third position. He is 3 points further away from Starbust. Human Bro was one of my draw of the days last week. How he it was incredible how he literally he just felt the transition from the intermediate to the wet tire. That was absolutely magical from Human Bro. He is fourth. Fifth is Jose. Sixth position is Irvine. He has gone up 12 positions. Good stuff indeed. Then not Irvine. Iron Knight is dropped down 3. He's on 13 points. And Scooby Stew, full-time Mercedes right now. Congratulations. Then we've got Winnie in 9th position. ZGS is in 10th position as well. Those are the well, let's go through the rest of the points score, shall we? Bulky Volcano got 4 points last month. Hammer Time is on 2 points. 1 point for Righty and Cosmo as well. Kaz, Folksy, Gaz, Picasso, Liam and Stars all hasn't scored just yet, but there's a long way in this championship. I say a long way to go. We're only doing half the season compared to gold and silver, of course, so not as long as what was what they probably would have wanted then. In the constructors, Williams are leading by 7 points from Racing Point in second position. Renault have also gone up 1 position in third. Alpha Tauri is fourth, and Alfa Romeo is hold station in fifth position. McLaren are at 1 position. Ferrari are at 2 positions. Red Bull have dropped down 2 positions, unfortunately. The teams not to score yet is the Haas and the Mercedes team, unfortunately, but there's a long way to go, as I mentioned then. Right then, as Sirius Russian saying, come on, Williams, no pressure, Bella, you better get some points then, we're on the roll. Unfortunately, the only roll I was on yesterday was going into the wall then. Right then, here we are then, we at the start of the qualifying session, and at this moment in time, it's a beautiful day here in Spa, isn't it? And I gotta say, I'm going to get me sandals on, get me shorts out, and lounge around in the sun then, because it is absolutely splendid stuff out there. It really is that. As you've got a couple of debutantes here tonight. We've got Jinner there, who's in the McLaren. So good luck to Jinner tonight then. Hopefully I've said your name right, which I probably haven't. Diashi making his first appearance in the ALR for a couple of weeks. Good stuff indeed then. As we have also got oh gosh, then we got a Williams driver there, and I really should have looked at the list before I come on there. Goodness me, this is going to be my apologies then to D Cunhanko. Is that your name? I'm not sure, but yes, I hope you have a good race as well then. Cobalt, give us a wave. Let's go, Jinner. Evening, Sean. Good evening, Vintage. Fudge McMuffin, love that name by the way. Let's go, Jinner then. Good stuff indeed then. Rain, 45 minutes into the race then, just like yesterday, so that'll probably come about half distance then, won't it really? But yes, so Kazadan has fulfilled the prophecy. There has been rain in all 4 Grand Prix here in ALR Belgium, and I gotta say, I would have put a lot of money on that as well, so yeah, I think I would have been a rich man. Out of the pits there comes Iron Knight then, and here he is, and he is currently 7th for the World Championship. He was on pole position, wasn't he, last week? He was indeed, wasn't he? Unfortunately, the pole position didn't turn into a race win, did it? Unfortunately for Iron Knight, but we'll see how he goes then here tonight, of course. But yes, a very good pole position as well from Iron Knight. Then we've got a qualifying ban for Styles, and he parked on the track. Then that is adhered to be dangerous, unfortunately. So Styles there has had to got a qualifying ban, and will have to start from the back of the field, unless of course someone crashes, which can happen around here, because of course the run up into Eau Rouge and Radion there can be quite can be quite daunting indeed then. Bulky Volcano, how much you going to bet I put another performance on today? I am not a better man, but if I was, I would definitely put some money on you, Bulky, because especially as there is rain afoot in the race as well, and Bulky was very happy in the rain last week in Hungary. Good stuff indeed then, as just on board then, as Jamie saying, spectate Bulky when he's on a lap. I will give it my best, my good man, but there are 18 other drivers out on circle as well. But yes, I'll keep an eye on Bulky. On board then with Iron Knight at the moment, and we've got outlaps for Winnie, for you Mad Bro, and also for folks as well. Liam D, Hammer Time and Starbust is also out on circuit. This is the first qualifying session. We're aiming to lose 3 drivers, because unfortunately Stars is out of qualifying already because of a qualifying ban. Look at the heat heat coming off of the tarmac there. It is a beautiful day, isn't it, here in Spa? Spa has got a rich history in Formula One folklore, hasn't it? It's had a bit of track modifications, hasn't it, over the years there. It has been often on the calendar. 2003 it was not on the calendar, was it? Which was absolutely a shame. And then it was off the calendar again in 2006 for the new reprofiled bus stop chicane. Well, it's not new anymore, is it? Because I was back in 2006. But never mind. I am quite an old man, ain't I? Yes, it was modified, wasn't it, back in 2006. I prefer the old style bus stop chicane personally. I wish that they didn't modify the track whatsoever there, but never mind. It's still a great circuit nonetheless, isn't it, as we go through Eau Rouge and Radion. It's not as tough test as it used to be. Remember back in 1998 and 1999 actually, we had Jacques Villeneuve having a big old smash, didn't we, in his Williams car? And then of course we had another smash with both the BAR drivers of Jacques Villeneuve and Ricciardo Zonta decide to bet each other that they can go through Eau Rouge and Radion flat out. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. That didn't go too well, as both of them had a big old smash there, and Craig Pollock couldn't believe it. The former team principal of the BAR team, I think they was at the Supertech engines, didn't they? Which I think they were rebadged. Would they rebadged Renault engines or something like that? If someone could help me out, that would be great. Oh no! And oh my goodness me, we've got a problem. It's at the top of the hill. It's a McLaren. It's Folksy. He is out of qualifying. Oh goodness me! And that is a big blow indeed. We have also got another. Oh goodness me! Yeah, that McLaren has gone off in a big way. And Folksy is out. Starbust is also out of qualifying as well. As I think he had a qualifying ban. That is such a shame then. Oh goodness me, that is absolutely devastating to say the least, isn't it? We've got Liam D. Oh no, he's in the wall as well. Oh, there's debris all across the course there. And Liam D is lucky to be surviving that one there. He could have ripped more than his wing off there. I think he did very well to keep it out of the wall, actually. Well, he put it in the wall, but he did very well to He did very well, though, not to damage his car. There is no spare cars in Formula 1 anymore. I keep saying this, I sound like a broken record, but there's no spare cars in Formula 1 anymore. Otherwise, he would have ran back to the garage and ran back to the garage and got into the spare car. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore, is it? Remember, in 97, actually, I don't know why I'm on a history lesson here tonight, but I love it. I think it's because when I was ill, Tuesday, oh my God! Goodness me! And Bulky is off! He has gone onto the curb there. That is 4 drivers out of qualifying already. He got on the power and he oh my goodness me, another McLaren, he's in trouble as well. Oh gosh, sir, it's absolute anarchy here in qualifying. It is a tough circuit, it's old school, isn't it? So if you're going to go off, you're going to go off in a big way. Hammer time has gone fastest there. He is really dropping the hammer, isn't he? What about Ginner here then? Has he damaged the McLaren? Let's take a look. Nope, he is okay in car 14, but gotta say, that was a big scare, wasn't it? Bulky is going to be absolutely absolutely horrified with what has occurred there. What a shame there from Bulky on board Ginner at the moment. This is debut tonight, isn't it, for Ginner? We'll talk more about the incidents in a minute, but let's celebrate Ginner's debut, shall we? He's in the McLaren, coming through a Blanchimont as well. Of course, this used to be a much more challenging part of the course, didn't it? Before we've got basically so much downforce on these cars, it's ridiculous now, isn't it? Hopefully with the 2022 rules that comes in, it might be a bit more of a challenge there. This circuit should be a challenge. We've got another debutant in the works as well, as a Deacon Hanko is in 4th position. I apologise if that has completely ruined your name. I'm so sorry. Picasso come back into pits. This is his second appearance in ALR Cobalt. He is come back into pits and go for another bite of the chair. Remember, his first race in Britain. That was the first race he had done since September 2020. So gotta say, very good stuff, I think, for Picasso there. And really, let's see if he's done any testing since then. Cass was very unlucky not to get a point last time out in Hungary. He was coming on to the wet tires, onto the intermediates, back onto the wet tires. He couldn't decide. Unfortunately, the weather gods was completely against him, wasn't it, on that day in history. Here's you mad bro. Well, he tamed those weather conditions as well, and look at that. He is almost half a second up then, you mad bro. Very impressive stuff, to say the least, there from the Alfa Romeo. Cosmo then coming out of Paul Frere, or is it Stavolo? I can't seem to make up my mind now. now. I know what I need to do. I need to go and look at Wikipedia. By the way, if anyone wants to pass college, I actually don't do this because I think that teachers now probably have like special bit of software then. But of course, I used to plagiarize my stuff because I'm a very naughty boy. But that's how I passed college. I just went on to Wikipedia, and I got to say, Wikipedia is the source of is a great source of information. And so, if you're just someone who's interested in any kind of knowledge, go on Wikipedia. It's absolutely fantastic as well. But of course, I do not condone cheating. Oh, what's that? What's that? I think that's a Haas, and that's a Alfa Romeo. Is it off the circuit? I think it's you, man, bro. Just getting out of the way. Good stuff indeed. That I don't condone, of course, cheating and all that kind of stuff. And I would never do it. Do as I say, not as I do. Here comes Jose, and he had a great drive, didn't he, in the Hungarian Grand Prix a week ago. Very good stuff indeed. And he's propelled himself up into 5th in the World Championship, hasn't he, Jose? He's had a very solid opening 2 rounds actually in Cobalt. Very good stuff indeed. Then. And just going back to the comments, and I apologise, guys. I've been speaking absolute waffle when I should really have been having a look to see what you guys are talking about in the chat. And we've got Pillar saying who's a returnee. Oh, if I sport it, I think I have. I'm so sorry. But Pillar saying, of course, the former silver and gold driver. Remember, he won 4 Grand Prix in silver and was really giving Dan Murphy the eventual runner-up in silver of last season. A really run for his money there, Pillars. He went to gold there. It didn't. It wasn't the most richest of time in a Pillars' career in a motor car, I don't think. But he didn't have much time to get his feet under the get his feet in, did he, at the Haas team? Before he was before he called it a day, which is unfortunate, wasn't it? But he is back in ALR Gold. We'll tell you about his team next Sunday, of course, which is when we go back on it, when we're back live actually in ALR. So good stuff indeed. Of course, Gold is it's the top division of ALR, and of course that is every Sunday night at 7:30 UK time on board of Irvine, the top of Lake Com as well. So yes, good stuff indeed, and see Dan back in the session there, back in the comments. Great stuff indeed. Fudge then saying this is honestly the best commentary I've heard on F1 2020 full F1 2020 games. Well, thank you, my good man. I think he wrote that though well before I start talking about plagiarism and Wikipedia though, so he's probably changed his mind right now, hasn't he? Irvine now coming out of Puyong now. So I'm trying my best not to call it Puyol because for some reason I associate that corner with the Spanish captain now, who is also a Barcelona player as well, which I got to say he was a great centre back, wasn't he, really? Which it hurts me to say because I'm not really a big fan of Barcelona. Irvine now going a bit wide there, wasn't he? So unfortunately he's going to have to, he's a Van Dijk this time, he's going to have to go round the circuit once again, isn't he, unfortunately? Here's Diashi. So Diashi, I think the last time, by the way, he's still got my favourite helmet of all time. I absolutely love Diashi's helmet, and we're on board with him now then, celebrating that helmet. But just to say then to Diashi, one of my Liam is off as well. They're dropping like flies here in the Belgian Grand Prix. This is only qualifying. Oh my word. And Liam has got off at the top of Radion as well. This is not good at all, is it? Diashi coming out of the final turn, and let's see what Diashi can do then as D. Cunhamho. I'm so sorry. The Williams and the new recce for Williams there. I might have to go old school and call him Williams #1 or something. Back from the F1 97 game, if anyone knows that. Of course, they didn't have the license for Jacques Villeneuve, did they? But Liam is out of qualifying. Diashi is third fastest at the moment in the Alpha Tauri. Got straight back in the car and straight back on it, looking car bonnet. Impressive stuff indeed there. So good stuff indeed there for Diashi. Scooby Stew is invalidated his time now. Picasso is done a 21 in the second split time now from the Mercedes car. Good stuff indeed there. So Boki is going to get unfortunately Boki is out of qualifying, which is such a shame, isn't it, for Boki? But last the first, that is definitely a good challenge indeed. DJ Tit saying, wow, bad crash there. But don't worry, Boki saying he hates that corner. That is such a shame. It really is indeed, isn't it? But as Boki reckons, Boki is doing the Jim Straff challenge, isn't he? Scooby Stew starting us up. By the way, congratulations to Scooby Stew then. His hard work in Cobalt has paid off, but he has got a full-time drive, hasn't he? So absolutely great stuff indeed then. On board of Irvine now, getting onto the outside of the curb there. Now he is on the final part of the lap. So I love this shot, by the way. Look at this. The car just steams towards us, doesn't it? I gotta say, it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I get very much I get an adrenaline rush every time I watch these cars around the circuit. It's absolutely magnificent, isn't it? In the Ardennes Forest. I think that if I would like to drive a Formula 1 car, I'd love to drive it around here. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? Irvine goes across the line. He is third fastest at the moment in the racing point. And good stuff indeed. Here comes ZGS then on the back straight as well. Scooby Stew is just coming up to the corner with no name, which is the Jackie Ick's turn from what Jerome D'Ambrosio told us back in 2015, I think, when he was on commentary. Just taking a look at the comments again then. Tango, evening Sean, hope you're feeling better. Yes, I am then, as I have got nothing left in my system there. I puked it all up on Monday night. It's absolutely appalling, wasn't it? And yep, I got to say, I hope I didn't have much sympathy from the admin drivers, for the admins whatsoever there, because they automatically assumed it was something to do with my bowel movement, wasn't it really? So that's nice of them, isn't it? Scooby Stew then coming out of the second intermediate split time as well. Good stuff indeed then. And just taking a look also, Gordon saying my leg hurts, saying good luck to Cobalt as well from Smith Almighty. And there's a DJ Titch saying, Sean, you're a funny guy. Keep up the good work there. And I love that dab, by the way. Fantastic, isn't it? And great. Serious Mushroom saying, I told you that D. Cunha was quick then. He's very quick, isn't he? The only problem is I struggle to say his name at the moment, isn't I? So when it gets into the heat of battle, that is going to be quite difficult for me to say, isn't it? So I am going to rechristen him Williams number 1 for the minute until someone could help me out with his name. That'd be absolutely fantastic. It really would indeed. Then Theo saying hello, how is everyone? Good evening, Theo. Of course, Theo got on the podium last night. Did he? A fantastic performance there from Theo. ZGS has come back into the pits. This is not good at all, is it, for ZGS then? Because I don't think he's going to have enough time to come in and back out the pits. Picasso is currently through into qualifying 2 at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Picasso. Can he get a time on the board then? Into Puyol now as well. Puyong now as well, I should say then. In car 21 in that Mercedes. It's a beautiful car, isn't it, the Mercedes? I do like the black with the Petronas coloured blue-green, is it? I don't know. It's a bluey-green to me, isn't it? But there we go. And we've got Bulky is just copying me both in P18 now for Jamie as well then. Yes, so of course, Jamie had a great race last night as well, didn't he? As ZGS has come in the pits and left for session. Now, that's not good at all. Is there a problem for ZGS then? That is a huge blow, isn't it, for the Alfa Romeo? And that is such a shame. And I could feel asking, was I sick because I was looking at the track for so long? I gotta say, hang on. I don't really get motion sickness too much then, but I have taken my travel sickness tablets then, and hopefully I should be fine and dandy. It's because you guys are too quick for me on Monday. I think that's what it was there. Of course, silver is so compact at the moment in the championship, isn't it? Not as compact as bronze though, is it? My goodness me, that's an absolutely cracking championship. And what about Cobalt? What is the situation going to be at the end of this tonight then? I think it's going to be live and kicking, isn't it? This championship at the end of this one. Jim Straub is not in the session here tonight at the moment either, as Duncan has retired from the session. ZGS is back in the pit, is back in, but he's out of qualifying, I think then. Thank you to Serious Russian, as Duncan will do. I'm glad someone has spared my blushes there, because I was going to struggle for a very long time on that. Good stuff indeed then. And as a vintage also saying, looks like Duncan to me. Am I the only one that did not see that? Oh gosh, Sarah, absolutely appalling, isn't it really? Yep, there you go. You can tell that I'm not a very clever man at all. If my IQ is 69 and all that, that's absolutely appalling stuff, isn't it? And we've also got Bulky saying, Diashi, let's do this for Brooksy. DJ Twitch saying, come on guys, and Nolsey also, let's go Cobalt Kings as well, with a lovely beautiful crown there. Good stuff indeed there from Nolsey. He loves a good old emoji, doesn't he? Or is it emoji? It is an emoji, isn't it? Yeah, it is an emoji. Goodness me, I'm getting a bit stage fright. Here comes Picasso there. He hasn't set time just yet then, but I think that he will be through into qualifying 2 here. Unfortunately, ZGS won't be, and we got a lot of drivers that are not going to be in qualifying 2, and the likes of Stars in Starbust, who did have a qualifying ban. Well, they're going to be happy as Larry, aren't they? Because they are both going to be at least 14th and 15th, maybe even 13th and 14th then, as Picasso is very much wrestling that car. He comes across the line, and Starbust and Stars are going to be 14th and 15th. Liam D is in 16th. Folksy is in 17th position there. And we're on board with ZGS, but unfortunately, I think he's beyond the 8 ball here. He is not going to get a time, I don't think, in, which is a big shame, isn't it, for ZGS there? And that is a Schumacher. Such a shame, isn't it? And by the way, I do love the Schumacher helmet as well. Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And talking to Schumacher, this place is synonymous with Michael Schumacher as well, isn't it? Of course, where he made his Formula One debut back in the Jordan with the iconic livery, 7-Up livery, wasn't it? Of course, in 1991, I should say. I think didn't he replace Bernard Gasho because he was in court or something for punching a London taxi driver or something. It was several of those lines, wasn't it? A very interesting story to say the least. And of course, Schumacher qualified 7th. He didn't get too far, did he? He retired after one lap, I think. I think he only got up to the Kemmel Straight, actually, for Schumacher before he retired, unfortunately. But then a year later, in his Benetton, I think it was a Benetton 40 he was driving. I think it was, wasn't it? But in his Benetton there, he was got his first ever Grand Prix win in '92. A fantastic performance there. And then, of course, the rest, as they say, is history, isn't it? And of course, he is one of the most successful. Well, he was the most successful driver in Formula One up until last season, wasn't he? As CGS comes across the line, and I think that this might be done now in the qualifying session. Is Picasso has gone faster and just in front of Scooby Stew as well. Picasso is there, and also he said that, of course, his first race back in a Formula One car since September 2020 for Picasso, and gotta say he's really starting to find his groove, isn't he, in a Formula One car? Looking forward to see what Picasso could do in the future races here in ALR. But in the moment, he's ended up Q1 in 12th position there for Picasso. Good stuff indeed. Then, as Jamie's asking that maybe we should able to bet on the race. No, not bet like money, just points, then kind of thing. Oh goodness me, then a bit of gambling going on in the commentary as well. I would bet my points, but my points are very precious to me because that's the only points I'm going to get this season. Anyway, just taking a look at qualifying and who's out. Bulky is out, unfortunately. There, we've also lost CGS as well. Technical gremlins there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Folksy, a big smash. The same with Liam D as well. Both out in 17th and 17th and 16th position. Stars and Starbursts have got qualifying bans, but they'll be in 14th and 15th position for the grid then. Great 7D. We've got 13 cars for qualifying 2. It's coming up in just a jiffy. And what it's worth, it's you mad bros. 3 tenths a second in front of Duncan, who's making his debut tonight in the Williams. And I've got to say, he's really ruffled some feathers, Duncan has. As Liam's saying that he don't like this track, it will be a bad race for me. I gotta say, Liam, I like this track, and it was a bad race for me yesterday. So I'm not sure if that helps or hinders you. Really, I hope that helps you, to be honest, because and this track is absolutely action packed. This Grand Prix is, and so do not give up, everyone. Do not give up. Remember that we had a couple of incidents in gold at the first lap there, and I gotta say, hats off to the drivers that didn't give up. Really good stuff indeed. Then. Going into Starburst is retired from the session, going into the finish off the race in gold. Then I got to say, it's really good stuff indeed. Remember, if you retire more than twice, I think, in the pit lane. Now I need to read up my rules then. But yes, if you retire constantly in the pit lane, you will get a 5-point deduction, of course. Then, which you don't want to do that really, because points are valuable. Because it's not only for you, it's for your team as well, of course. And the joint constructors, it is you do not want to get the wrath of your teammates, do you? That is definitely not what you want to do, which is kind of why I kept myself going, albeit I was absolutely heartbroken at the end of yesterday's race. But never mind, we all must go on. And of course, I was very tempted to call it dead. I would have done if that 5-point deduction rule was not in place for me and for the other drivers as well then. I know, just on board now then with you mad bros. He is just on an outlap at the moment, and you mad bros. And yes, he was so close to, wasn't he, to winning the Hungarian Grand Prix. Magnificent performance last time, that wasn't it, from you, mad bro? I'm got that performance there. It's going to live long in the memory for me. Absolutely magnificent stuff. It was like Verstappen-esque, wasn't it, you mad bro, of how he felt the conditions changing under his tyres there. Magnificent stuff indeed, wasn't it? He felt the conditions changing. He went onto the wet tyres, and he was absolutely screaming through the field, wasn't he? Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. And if he didn't get that 3-second penalty with 2 laps to go, maybe even less than that, he would have won the Grand Prix. Take nothing away from Jim Stradfo. He had a magnificent performance from 20th on the grid to win the Grand Prix as well, which kind of gets lost in translation, doesn't it, really? Because I almost forgot about Jim Stradfo starting at the back of the field by the end of that race. It was absolutely magnificent. It was such a long race, 35 laps around the Hungarian Grand Prix, and we had all kinds of mayhem and mischief, didn't we? We had safety cars, we had incidents. It was action action-packed, the first half of the race. The second half of the race was very much a thriller, wasn't it? I've really enjoyed both, an action and adventure to start off with, and then a thriller to end the race then. That's all what you need, isn't it, in the in your ALR racing, isn't it? On board you, mad bro. Let's go through Eau Rouge and into Radion as well then. Look at that, not taking too much of the curve then. Very safe indeed then. 2 DRS zones around this 7-kilometer circuit then, as we're coming up the Kemmel straight up into a Lake Calm as well. 1995, I remember of this corner here where Schumacher and Hill was fighting tooth and nail. Remember that Schumacher was on dry tyres when Damon was on wet tyres. The track was wet there. That's what you need to be on the wet tyres, and somehow Schumacher kept Hill behind. And then of course there he switched to slicks there. He won brilliantly, didn't he? That was his 16th career victory from 16th on the grid for Michael Schumacher. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed then. And you kind of got to take your hat off to the as you bad bro's gone wide, and look, he's gone wide there. That's a shame now, and he's going to have another bite of cherry as well. Here comes hammer time then. As you can see, the clouds are starting to roll in here. We was expecting rain in the race then, but are we expecting a rain in the qualifying session as well? Well, I wasn't expecting that, and I wonder if the drivers weren't expecting it either then. As we already mentioned, that rain just seems to bubble up around here, doesn't it? I do not trust my weather forecaster as far as it can throw it. Of course, that is my mobile phone app, and I can't throw my phone very far anyway because I gotta say, it's quite an expensive phone really. Well, it is for me anyway. I don't usually buy phones for us. I wait about 3-4 years until my other one kind of just dies, and then we go from there then. And now coming up into the bus stop chicane. It used to be a bus stop, which is why it's called the bus stop chicane. Then of course I am full of beautiful knowledge, and I'm sure which I'm sure none of you are interested in that whatsoever, are you? You are interested in the corner, that is definitely what I'm sure for, but I don't think you're interested in the name. Hammer time goes fast, and he's on the soft tyre. Medium tyres for Jose, and a lot of you might be wondering, why is that then? The reason why that is of course, if we're in qualifying 2, if you get into qualifying 3, you must start on the tyre which you set your fast time, exact tyre, not just the same compound, the exact tyre. So that is what the drivers are doing. And here's Duncan then on the medium tyres. He is fantastic, isn't he, Duncan? He's really caught my eye tonight, and he's only done 1 session, my word. Have we got another star in the future? I think we have, haven't we? And of course that's what Cobalt is really about, isn't it? About seeing some of these drivers there and how great they can be, and I think we've got a lot of stars in here already, haven't they? I think all 19 of these drivers tonight are absolute stars. They're really impressive drivers indeed, as are all of them everyone in ALR, whether it's gold, silver or bronze. Apart from that random ginger guy who finished last night, but we'll forget about him, shall we? We've got I think it's Irvine who is the closest to the finish line then, as a Gino there is just on an outlap on the medium tyres. Only one driver set a lap on the soft tyres, which is hammer time, which is why he's on the 42, and everyone else is currently in the 44 at the moment. Yellow flags is fluttering down at Stavelo. I think it's one of the racing points. It is not this racing point, because it is Irvine in his second Grand Prix. He is second fast. He is the fastest of the medium runners so far. Lovely stuff indeed there. And I think it's Josie going for another lap. He is indeed going for a second bite of cherry. Good stuff indeed there from Josie, and his 5s 10 to a second up on this second time run there. Impressive stuff indeed there. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Now accelerates now the final turn, then DRS right on the money, and Josie goes second fast there. 2 tenths a second in front of his teammate. Impressive time there from the Racing Point drivers, and they are a very good team, aren't they? Really impressive stuff indeed. Iron Knight has called it a day on the medium tyres, haven't they? As I think did he crash coming in the pits there? I hope not there, but he might have had a bit of issues there, didn't he? On board with Winnie then. I keep calling him Vinny, which is not very good, is it really? It's Winnie. I don't know why I keep going Vinny for some reason. I don't know. It's probably because I'm a big old Vinnie Jones fan, and of course, after watching him some great films there, I think he was because he was like the Mean Machine and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure he wasn't he in Snatched as well. I think I gotta say I love that film. I love it so much. I don't know if Vinnie Jones is in or not, but there you go. Just watching Cosmo then, but I think we need to keep an eye on what Ginner does then. We're on board with Ginner right now then. This is another debutant there. Duncan doing a great job. Ginner is doing a fantastic job as well, isn't it? Both in the most famous teams in Formula 1 apart from Ferrari. That is the McLaren and the Williams team. Really, I've got to say, a very prestigious history, isn't it? And Ginner does go second fast, like goodness me. And he's had a very good time indeed there in that McLaren. Lovely 17. Well, we was talking about rain just a minute ago. Now we've got a bit of sunshine there on the circuit here. Look at that, and as the sun is bursting through the clouds here in Belgium. It's a very rare sight, isn't it, to see the sun around here in Spa. But we've had a bit of it in the And the in the opening start to this qualifying session, once we just taking a look, then there's a Bulky saying, please Diashi get into Q3. Well, Diashi at the moment there is a Cosmo goes second fast, and it's a Red Bull 1-2. Good stuff from the Red Bull team. You man bros going for another by the chair. Diashi has not come out of the pitch just yet, but hopefully Bulky will be cheering it on then, and so will we as well. And Diashi then, of course, he's currently sat in the pits there, very as cool as a cucumber, isn't he, in the pit at the moment. Good stuff indeed there. We've got serious Russian. What is the race? What's the weather? What's the race weather, Bulky? Yes, rain. Then I guess it is rain there. Serious Russian. We do have rain. 45 minutes into the Grand Prix. So any time after half distance, I suppose, which is why a lot of drivers will be on the medium tires. And I really wish I listened to Serious Mushroom as well, because I should have been on the medium tires. But I absolutely fluffed my lines twice in qualifying yesterday, and I ran unfortunately. Oh, well, it was just a mare, really, and I'm trying to forget that. We've also got Sean almost as mad as Murray Walker, the best commentator in F1 history. Haha. Thank you, DJ. Then I got to say, I'm not even good enough to lace up Murray Walker's shoes, to be honest. I think he's absolutely fantastic, Murray Walker is, and he is the reason why a lot of us love watch Formula 1 these days. Murray Walker is there, and I got to say, he's my favourite person in all of Formula 1 history. That includes the likes of David Coulthard, who I got to say, I used to love David Coulthard, but yeah, Murray Walker was the main reason why I watched Formula 1. I think he got a lot of us into Formula 1, and it was just his iconic voice and how he made every race. Oh no! And oh my gosh, Sarah, and Scooby Stew out of the. Well, I gotta say, that turn 8 is very perilous tonight, and that's Bulky and Scooby Stew. Same corner on the exit curb there. It's spun up their rear tires and are out. The talk on these cars is mega, but my goodness me, there's a lot of casualties in this qualifying session tonight. Is that there's a Ferrari coming through? I think that's Kaz. It is Kaz. He's the only Ferrari out on track at the moment, and that is such a shame for Scooby Stew. He is out of qualifying, and he's going to have to make the very depressing walk back to the garage there. What a shame now for Scooby Stew. He's coming 11 fastest though, if that's any consolation. And it's Kaz going for a second by the chair. Nope, he's coming back into the pits, I feel. Here comes Iron Knight, and he is up to Eau Rouge as well. Yeah, just going back to Murray Walker, he was the main reason why a lot of us watch and love Formula 1. He's definitely the reason why I got into it, because his voice there just made everything so much more exciting. And a lot of the races, I look back and think how amazing they were. But these races today are probably a lot better than the races that I watched back then. But Murray Walker just made absolutely unmissable, didn't they? Looking back on that, if it wasn't Murray Walker commentating, I don't think the races for me would be as magic as what they are now. And I'd still love to watch them, even on YouTube today. I think I watched the 1998 Austrian qualifying session not too long ago. That was one where Fisichella got his first pole position, or was it his second? I think it was his first for Benetton, that's all I know. It was in the rain affected qualifying session. I think for the first 20 to 30 minutes, it was Martin Brundle and Murray Walker talking absolute nonsense there. But I've got to say, I love stuff like that, and that's why I love watching the practice session as well, because I do like hearing Ted Krawitz's views and opinions, both Ted Krawitz and Crofty, and of course whoever's in the commentary box, whether it's Anthony Davidson, Karun Chandrak, or anyone like that. I just love to hear their opinions, really. It's absolutely fantastic, it really indeed. And I just also love to hear your opinions as well then, as we're just watching and Serious Russian saying lock, stock and snatch then, I think was Vinnie Jones. Yes indeed then. And I do like the I do like those old British films then. Diash is on a lap now then. He is coming up through Eau Rouge and Radion as well. We have got Bulky Volcano. It's going to rain 45 minutes into the race then. Scooby lost the mystery machine. Whoops. There from Serious Russian then. How many spots can I make up then as well then? So that is going to be a question that we'll be answering, Zach, at the end of this race then. As Diash has invalidated his time with 3 minutes to go in this session then. So he's put a lot of pressure on himself then. And then we're just watching Iron Knight then, who is in third position at the moment, and he should be safe then. Well, qualifying at the moment, and we've lost Starburst, we've lost Scooby Stew and Styles. It's between Picasso and Diashi, and we've also got the two Ferraris that are going to be looking nervously over their shoulder. And here's Picasso then, who is going to be the first driver then out of the ones out on circuit there to start their lap then. We've also got DJ saying true legend watched F1 over 35 years. Yes, and I must say then, I think I started watching mine around 96, 7ish. I can't remember, to be honest, but I do love to go back and watch the races then as well. So yeah, if I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on what's your favourite F1 moment, or what was your favourite season, or maybe just, I don't know, just have a bit of a chin wag, isn't it? Of course, that's what we're here for at the end of the day, is there just a bit of a chin wag, as well as try to make heads and tails of what's going on the circuit right now. Well, I do know what's going on the circuit right now is Picasso. He's in the Mercedes on the soft tyre. He is coming out the Kemmel straight as well. Look at him as he's blasting here up to Lake Com as well, touching 207 miles an hour before breaking down into fourth gear up to Lake Com. That was where Rosberg and Hamilton came to blows in 2014. I'm really ignited the rivalry between those two. I must say though, it was getting very edgy. It was after Monaco, then after Hungary as well. It was great, wasn't it? Bulky Volcano, how many can I make up then? Bulky starting near the back as well. Serious Russian saying, you will win, Bulky. You will win, Bulky, from Serious Mushroom. Yes, so let's see how many Bulky does make up as well. We keep an eye on the drivers coming from the back of the field. It's going to be absolutely stupendous, isn't it, to watch there? We've got a lot of drivers out of a lot of drivers out of position, don't we? Of course, there are qualifying bans and mistakes in qualifying, so it's going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? So we'll be interested to see what the likes of Bulky, Styles, and Starburst can get from near the back of the field. Then we are just watching Picasso, then, who's coming through Blanchimont as well. Then look at that, then there's a shade that is starting to cover the track, isn't it? As we've gone from very dull to absolutely beautiful skies, haven't we? And here comes Picasso. Then he is out of DRS. And he has gone, oh goodness me, a bit too much torque on that Mercedes car. He is not ain't fast as so from Picasso. There's a lot more time in that Mercedes, but I don't think he's got enough fuel on the car, unfortunately, for Picasso. That might cost him a spot in qualifying too, unfortunately, for the Mercedes driver. But he is looking a lot more comfortable in that car tonight, and that is great stuff, isn't it? We've got Diashi there making their first appearance in ALR for almost a couple of weeks now. I can't remember the exact time, but as we're on board, and we're on board now as he is now coming up into Blanchimont as well, and flying through and coming up into the bus stop chicane as well. Well, here comes Diash there. Now look at that, then hitting those curbs are absolutely sweeter than that. Then accelerates out of the final turn, DRS, and let's see what he can do. He is fourth fastest, Diash is, and Kaz is now on the outside looking in then in the Ferrari coming through. Oh, Rouge and Radio there. That's looking unstable, but it's good enough. Duncan there, 4/10 of a second up in the second split time. That's a good time there. Irvine there, 7/10 of a second up as well. He's on the soft tyres. Irvine is in car 94. Goodness me. I got to say, I thought that was nosy when I first looked at. He's got a black helmet there, almost anyway. Car 94 in the racing point. Wow, the parallels are almost endless. And Irvine comes across the line. He is fastest as well in the racing point. Very good stuff indeed. Here's Duncan, 4/10 of a second up in the second split. We've got Mercedes who is crawling back there, and as Duncan there is crawling, and he is 10th fast at the moment. He didn't improve. He backed off then. What is that going to be a painful maneuver there for Duncan? Well, at the moment he will start 11 and get to choose his tyres. We'll find out then as we got Kaz who is navigating his way through the chicane as well. Tango saying better do it for the joint constructors as he is tearing on Diashi and Bulky, and Tango is, of course, he's a party AlphaTauri team. Tango had a great race here as well, didn't he, on Sunday? Maybe arguably if he didn't have the technical gremlins which has blighted his season, maybe he could have also won the Grand Prix as well, but nevertheless he did have a good race nonetheless, so didn't he? So good stuff indeed that. And as Jamie was saying, Bulky's just trying to do what Jamie did there, and he wants to have go in Belgium in style. Kaz's through into qualifying free, and Duncan there has maybe pulled off a very shrewd move here by backing off there and choosing whatever tires he wants for the race then perhaps, but he's not going to make it into qualifying free. That is the bottom line at this stage of the proceedings, but he does get to choose new tyres for the start of the Grand Prix. The rain coming 45 minutes in the race as well. So I've been told this is going to be, this potentially could be a race altering race, potentially winning strategy in terms of getting a podium, major points, and maybe even a win then, of course, because who knows, the pole sitter in a bronze and cobalt so far has been a bit of a poison chalice, hasn't it? No one in, I think actually, I'm going to tell a lie here, no one in bronze and silver hasn't won from pole position yet this season, have they? But of course, I think Crystal Maze did in the British Grand Prix. However, since then, it's no one has won from pole position in bronze, and no one has won from pole position in cobalt. Look at that! Less than a tenth of a second separates Irvine, Hammer Time, and you mad bro. Looking that's a great stuff indeed. Iron Knight cannot be counted out either. 3 tenths of a second back. Diashi also trying to shake off the cobwebs on his car as well. As we've got Mitz Matt then saying, unlucky Stu. Tango saying, not win, mate, not that good, but podium was possible there. Well, I must say that you were pretty quick out there, boy. We also heard that you did have technical gremlins there with the old ERS as well. The energy recovery system there where it's stuck on, from what I heard as well there. But of course, I got my information from Emerson, so that couldn't, so that potentially could be absolute hogwash there. But there we go then. DJ Twitch saying, my best is Lewis Hamilton winning his first Canadian Grand Prix. What a race that was there as well. But watch him come from Carton then. Yeah, I got to say, the first time I seen Hamilton was actually in F2. I think it was the Turkish F2 race where where I think he came with Cropper, didn't he? And he came from back through the field to finish second that day, didn't he? Or did he win? I'm sure he finished second actually. That was when I first noticed Lewis Hamilton, because I must say that F2 for me back I didn't really watch too much of. I think it was Formula 3000, wasn't it? No, it was GP2, wasn't it? I didn't really watch much of the series, like the younger series back then, because it was very hard to watch really, because it was on either Your Sport, then it was on some other channel. I could hardly make heads or tails about which was there. These days it's a lot easier. It's all on Formula 1, isn't it? Sky Sports F1. So no, that's much better, isn't it? Much more nicer as well. And we can see the greats like Charles Leclerc coming up through the ranks, Robert Schwartzman as well, and I think Piastri as well. I quite like the look of that young man as well. He's a very talented driver, isn't he? He didn't do too well in the the third Bahrain race, I should say. But he is looking a strong candidate as well. Is he Australian? He is Australian, isn't he? He's managed by Mark Webber. So very interesting stuff indeed then. But yeah, I think I love that 2007 race. But I got to say, that was a very frightening race as well for Robert Kubica. That had an almighty smash. I mean, he lost his nose cone, didn't he? Lost his wing there, and it went under his tyres after a clip with Jarno Trulli. Had a big old smash, didn't he? And that's actually made the way for Sebastian Vettel to make his debut in the 2007 United States Grand Prix. How funny is that of these things coming around there? So Vettel making his debut, same year as at Lewis Hamilton. You seem to get golden years where you get like a lot of very good debutants. Like in 2001, we had a great class in 2001. We had Raikkonen, Fernando Alonso, and Juan Pablo Montoya. It was a very, it was really stacked grid 2001, wasn't it? When you look back on it and how many champions was involved that season. Of course, that was also the last season that Murray Walker and Mika Hakkinen, Murray Walker commentated, wasn't it? The United States Grand Prix was the last time he ever commentated, and Mika Hakkinen that was his final year in F1. We thought it was a sabbatical, but it wasn't. That was his final season. Then Kimi Raikkonen took over, and Kimi Raikkonen, then of course, a world champion as well. I think it's the last. I was going to say he is the last Finnish world champion, isn't he? And of course, he's the last Ferrari world champion as well, which I can't believe I'm saying that. We're just watching Hammer Time then as he's going up through Eau Rouge now, then, and through Radion. Then in ALR so far in all 4 divisions, I don't think we've ever had a Ferrari world champion, have we, just yet then? So hopefully that will change in a not too distant future. Then we've had a Red Bull champion. We've had a couple of Red Bull champions, haven't we? Over the years. And I think Glock was driving the Red Bull in the Silver Season 2. That dominated, didn't he? Glock did most of the Silver Season 1. We also had Nigel there dominating the first ever ALR World Championship with the Red Bull team as well. Took 5 victories that season when he debuted in the Canadian Grand Prix, didn't he? His consistency was scary enough, wasn't it? Great stuff indeed there. So Red Bull do have a rich history in ALR then. So we got I'm gonna look down the comments again as we're just watching Hammer Tom then coming through Puyo. DJ, come on, Kaza. We've got Evening Tango there from Matt then. So Jamie, all right then. P1 there. Twitch said it was second there. Yes, the 2008 was it? Yeah, 2008 Hamilton was the world champion, wasn't he? But 2007 was his first Grand Prix win, wasn't it? I quite like, and of course we also had we also had a very good 2008 Canadian Grand Prix as well, because I think it was Robert Kubica that won, didn't he? It was Sauber BMWs, or BMW Sauber, I should say. Goodness me, I'm going to be slapped across the face there for getting that wrong. Hammer Time, we'll talk about that in a minute, because Hammer Time comes out the final turn, and he goes fastest then. Good stuff indeed there for Hammer Time. Here's the fastest of the drivers so far. Here comes you mad bro out of the final turn then. Let's see what this man could do then. Across the line, he is second fast moment, 2/10 of a second away then. What about Gino then? Is he's doing a hop, skip and a jump then over the curbs, then accelerates out. Here's the McLaren driver. Of course, he is making his debut on the top rookie so far. He is third fastest on the grid. Well, he spotted another Red Bull. It is Cosmo in car 27 then. He went at 3 positions then after his point in Hungary. He should have got a lot more. Cosmo did. Remember, he flew through the field in the first part of the race then. He is full fastest at the moment for the Red Bull driver. We got Irvine then also into the bus stop chicane as well. Look at the lock there. He's hacksawing away at that steering wheel, comes over the line, and Irvine goes fifth fast. And again, slower in there as we go by. Williams, as Iron Knight, who's abandoned his time and coming to the pits. That was the last week's pole sitter. Has decided that it's not going well for him. Kaza, goodness me, we've seen Picasso did that. Now Kaza's done that as well. It's a very slippery final turn here in 19, and Kaza has gone at 6 fast at the moment. Josie's coming out of Paul Frere as well. We've also got Diaz, who's invalid his time, but it's just as out at the moment. Are on board now with Josie as he is coming through a Blanchemont then as well. And look at this, and he's over 200 miles an hour. Like, no, he's flicking on the 200 miles an hour then. And now coming into the bus stop chicane. When's he going to break that? Just after the 100-meter board. That's fantastic, isn't it? And breaking down to 50 miles an hour then. Accelerating now then. Do not go on the power too heavily then, because Kaza and Picasso will testify to that. And Josie goes third fastest. This man's fantastic. He is up in the third. Brilliant stuff for car 22. Great stuff indeed. And now Diaz then is starting his lap as well. And then breaking down into turn 1 and accelerating away. Yeah, yellow flags is what's going on in there. It's a hammer. I think it's all right. I thought I just spotted the two cars very close to each other, and I was getting a bit concerned then. But Diaz on the lap as well, coming up to Radion and through and up to the camera straight. Serious Russian asking, what about TikTok and how much we all hate him then? I've got to say, he does, unfortunately, he didn't recover himself in glory, did he, in that Silverstone incident a few years ago. And then, unfortunately, every time he's on the radio, he does seem to be moaning about stuff. However, DRC has had some major problems at the top of the hill, and he has invalidated his time, and I wonder if he's going to abandon his time, and that's a third driver. I'm going to call that the Wall of Champions at the end of this one. My word, then, that's 3 of them. This is come a cropper. I can't remember seeing anyone having any issues on that on the last 3 days. This is incredible. What is going on at that turn there? Oh my word, there. Absolutely shocking, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Oh gosh, sir. And we're just now coming back into the garage, and Diaz says he's got to abandon his time. So we're going to, is it you mad bro that went for a second time run there, and it's going to be very tight for him to come back in the pits. He is second fast at the moment, you mad bro, 2/10 of a second away from Hammer Time, who's currently on pole position then for the this will be his first pole position of his career if he can keep that. You mad bro was on pole position back at the British Grand Prix, wasn't he? Unfortunately, he had he kind of got he almost he kind of got into some mischief, didn't he, in turn 2 when it all became a bit tight there, didn't it, unfortunately. Just taking a look as well, as Serge was saying, not fair though, because I'm sure the Red Bull was the best car in 2019. A lot of people say that, and of course these cars are meant to be equal, but but of course there has been a lot of rumblings that these cars are not equal, are they? Because they do drive differently, don't they, and all that kind of jazz. Well, that's definitely my excuse anyway why I'm not very good, but yes, there definitely is a rumbling, isn't there, about the cars. Apparently they're equal, but it doesn't always seem to be the case, does it? Serge Russian saying that Diashi was very lucky there. Bulky, that turn is Kirsten Meaty, GG. Good evening, Meaty. I think that's welcome, Meaty, to the stream as well. Of course, I think you're I apologise if you've been here before, I haven't read out your comments, and I apologise for that. Then if I ever spit out my words, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Welcome to the stream, Meaty. I hope you're enjoying it as well. And I do love the OGG. Of course, and that reminds me of my good old days on Call of Duty, which was last night. as Sirius was saying, it had a shorter wheelbase than the Red Bull did in 2019 then. So yes, and it did, and I assume that would have made the cars better then, I suppose. And by the way, that is I'm not very technically gifted. I'm not technically minded at all, really. The problem with me is I just like fast cars. The world of Formula One and the technical gizmos and gadgets that goes on, it goes well above my head. All I know is, fast car, and that just kind of gets me going. But yes, it's the but yeah, the technical prowess of these cars is absolutely amazing, isn't it? So yeah, Sirius Mushroom then just saying about the shorter wheelbase on the Red Bull then back in the 2019 game, which could have been also a reason why the Red Bull was quite magnificent that season as well. Of course, we had Jochen driving that Red Bull, didn't we? Then we had Nigel as well. It was a very good car, wasn't it, that Red Bull was? But I feel that the two drivers that was also driving in that car was magnificent as well. Jamie already said, sheesh. So I think that I wonder if he just in the Diashi incident there. Iron Knight then hasn't set a time just yet, nor is Diashi either. Outlaps for 6 cars now. Then it's all or nothing now, as I'm getting a lot of dabs and a lot of YouTube and also a lot of buffering as well. Out of the final turn then for Iron Knight. He has been on pole position last time on the Hungarian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, he didn't get what he really wanted though, did he? Iron Knight didn't, as he got a DNF unfortunately there. But let's see if we can put that DNF then away then. And now we're on board. We're watching the Iron Knight, I should say, going through Radion as well at the top of the hill there. DRS then it comes at you quite quickly, doesn't it? You've really got a lot to do with your hands, haven't you? Coming up this Camel Straight as well. And we're now just waiting for a breaking point. Where is he going to break then? Just, we're almost next to the 50-meter board. That is absolutely fantastic, isn't it, from Iron Knight? Magnificent performance. Riding the curve then as well. I'm not sure he wants to ride the outside curve down here though. It's a bit of a car killer, this one is, and you can see that Iron Knight didn't even touch that curve there, into the corner with no name, and now dropping down once again. It's a roller coaster ride, isn't it? This part of that really gives me an adrenaline rush as well, and I think all the drivers are the same then through Puyong as well then. Look at that, touching the outside curve then, and also touching the outside curve as well, just giving it a little kiss on the outside then. And now then, as we come into the Fanya chicane as well, which Tango informed me about last night or the night before, riding the curve then, if you get too far wide out there, that's a track extension there. That is also a invalidation of a lap time as well out of Paul Frere. And now coming up into Blanchimont as well, touching 200 miles an hour, and just look at that, he's tickling the 200 mark. There he is, he's on it now, and through the Blanchimont then he's out of Earth's Head, so he's going to lose a bit of power in that Williams there. He's run out of recovery with the energy recovery there in the final part of that, 35 seconds to go. DRS then on the money there for Iron Knight. He is second fast, he's 2/10 of a second away from Hammer Time, who is still on pole position then for the Belgian Grand Prix. I don't think he's got enough time to go again. He hasn't got enough fuel, I don't think, to go again. What about Jinner? Jinner is on an outlap at the moment then, so I'm going to leave him to it. And we've got a Red Bull of Hammer Time then. He's 8/10 of a second down. Hammer Time is there, and he's still, I think he's still going for broke here, but he must need a magnificent final part of the lap then, unless the telemetry has lied to me, which it probably has, said it always lies to me. Sirius Mushroom saying Iron is looking at tidy. Hammer Time can start one more lap then as well. Yellow flag said Diaz is on pole position then by a 10th of a second. Kaz is off Ben, coming out of the Fanya chicane, I think, and Diaz has done one lap and he's on pole position. He's snatched it away from Hammer Time at the very end of this qualifying session then. What about Irvine? Has he got anything in the tank then? He's on pole position, and Irvine's on pole position there. Oh, magnificent time there from Irvine. 3/10 of a second in front of Diashi. Magnificent there from Irvine. Here comes you, mad bro. He's 2/10 of a second up in the second split time. He's in the ballpark. He needs a bit more though in this final sector. Has he got enough? Can he find enough then as well? And we're up to we're now coming up into the final part of the lap as well. And now then touching the exit of the bus stop chicane then. Let's see what he can do. 18.442. Is he done enough? He's third fast. It's not enough for the front row, but it is enough then for the second row of the grid. Here comes Joseph. Joseph's on to third position as well. It's a great road to there. A racing point. first and third. They're loving life here in Spa tonight then. They've got a rich history for Cindy have around here, I should say, Racing Point. And now we got Ginner then on his debut here in ALR. Kaz is out qualifying. Picasso is also out qualifying as well, and he's got a Q3 ban. I should have said that about 12 minutes ago probably. The final turn then for Ginner. This is a good time. It's second now on the grid there, and he's on the third row of the grid on his debut. Wow, there's a lot of feathers being ruffled tonight. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Iron Knight has dropped down to 7th. I can't believe it. He's usually one of the and then he actually comes to the pits there. Hammer Time's in the pits as well. Irvine is on pole position for the first time in his ALR career. He is 2 tenths of second in front of Ginner. Magnificent performance there from Irvine. What an end to qualifying that was. Congratulations to Irvine, and only a second Grand Prix start as well for ALR Cobalt, and he is on pole position. Magnificent stuff indeed there for the Racing Point driver. Absolutely stunning stuff indeed then. And as DJ Titchain, Sean at Kazan at ZGS know me as Mad Dog when I race with them at times. Go as I gotta say, I definitely can be a Mad Dog. I was a Mad Dog last night, definitely. Serious Mush then. Ashley the Bashy there from Serious Mush there. Lend me strength there from Duboki. Diashi all four. And not a Renault Insight Becca as well then. As of course the Renault the joint constructors leaders at the moment, aren't they? They're absolutely run away, that joint constructors. But tonight there's no yellow cars inside to the top 10, just as Sirius Mushroom said it. And look at that grid then. That's a fantastic grid for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix, which is coming up in just a minute then. I love that qualifying session. Fantastic, wasn't it? Really good stuff indeed then. We've had 3 different pole sitters this season. We have had You Mad Bro, Iron Knight, and now Irvine as well. Magnificent performances from all 3 of those drivers. Now, who is going to get the victory then? Here in Spa, we've had Brooks with a win. We've also had Jim Stroud with a win as well then. Both those 2 drivers are not in tonight, are they? But so we're going to get a new winner by the looks of this. But let's find out who. And look at how dull it is, and we are expecting rain around the halfway mark here in Spa. Well, apparently 45 minutes into the race then, so I'd say about halfway through the Grand Prix, maybe around lap 14, maybe around lap 11, 12-ish. So keep an eye on the weather there. But I think all the medium tires then will be happy with that, won't they? Here we go then for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix. This is round 3 of Cobalt here in ALR. This is the brand new league, of course, and there is no stats or anything like that. These drivers are the record book creators, haven't they? And we have had 3 different pole sitters in the first 3 races in Cobalt. We are going to get 3 different winners. Oh, are we? Because Jim Straff is stuck at the bottom there, but we could potentially but can we get a 3rd winner in 3 different races in Cobalt? And Bronze done a fantastic season, haven't they? We've had 9 different podium sitters in the first 3 races. That's absolutely incredible stat, isn't it? I doubt they're going to be able to continue going on like that, are they? But we'll find out then. As we're now then at start, we're now on the countdown to the start of the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm already perspirating here in the commentary box. I've got my window wide open, so everyone thinks I'm talking to myself outside, which is nothing unusual because I don't normally do anyway. As I need expert advice is what I tell them, but unfortunately there is not really any expert advice anywhere to be seen in here tonight, is there? Jim Sharp, don't forget your setup mate as well from Serious Mush. And of course that was a very good shout, because when we started in the race yesterday, Butcher Delights and Sir Dave, who I was sharing the party with last night, unfortunately for me, didn't, and they both had qualifying bans, and they started the session up, and they just retired straight away and didn't load their setup, which was not very good of them, was it? But there we go. And of course I am mentioning that because I do like to give them a bit of banter every now and again then. Right then, let's go for the grid, shall we then? As DJ saying good luck everyone, come on Kaz, and ZGS said Kaz in 9th position, ZGS in 18th position then. Let's see what they can do in this race then. So we got one driver on the hard tires, that is Liam Dean, and he's openly admitted he's struggled on this circuit, but the points come in the race there. And we've also got Jim Stroud at the back of the field, just like last week as well. He's in the Haas car tonight. We got Bulky down in 19th position, and he's out of position as well, but he's on the soft tires. We got a lot of drivers out of position. Let's go for the grid. We have got Irvine, his first pole position of his career in Cobalt as well, and this is only a 2nd Grand Prix for Irvine, and he's been on the podium, hasn't he? Of course, already there. And I had the pleasure pleasure talking to him last week then. Will I be talking to him again here tonight? We'll find out in 45 minutes or so time. Jinner is alongside him on row 1. He is on the medium tires along with Diashi and Jose. Racing Point has split their strategy then, which is a very good idea indeed, isn't it? I wish I split my strategy last night. You mad bro in 5th position. He's on the soft tires with Hammer Time in 6th position and Iron Knight in 7th position as well. Cosmo is in 8th position on soft tires. Kaz in 9th and Picasso in 10th position also on soft tires. Good stuff indeed from all those drivers then. 11th position is Duncan. He gets a free choice of tires. He has gone onto the medium tire, of course. He will have a brand new spanking set of those medium tires and they're going to be fresh out of the blankets. 12th position is Winnie. 13th position is Starburst. Winnie on the soft tires. Starburst on the medium tires. Scooby Stew is in 14th position. Had a big shunt, didn't he, in qualifying. Styles is in 15th position. Then Liam D is in 16th position. He is on the only driver on the hard tires. 17th position is Folksy. 18th position is ZGS on the medium tires. Bulky Volcano is in 19th and Jim Strav is in 20th position in the Haas car. 20 cars then around the Belgian Grand Prix, the longest circuit on the Formula 1 calendar. It's 7 kilometers long. This one is. We've got a very overcast day here in Spa as well. And so keep an eye on this one. This is going to be a cracking race to say the least then. And now then, as we are now starting to count down then to the start of the Belgian Grand Prix as well. Jim Strav then, oh goodness me, then he's on a bit of lag then as he comes up to the grid. And look at that lovely shot here from Irvine. I'm loving that. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Here are the lights then, but I don't think the lights are going to go off just yet. Then as we've got a bit of a jumping around. Then we're on board for Irvine. This is the shot going down into turn 1. It is not a very long run down into turn 1. Is it by any stretch of imagination? Irvine is selected first gear. We are go here in the Belgian Grand Prix. This is round 3 of Cobalt and let's go. You Mad Bro is flown up through the field already in this race. Fantastic stuff there from You Mad Bro. He's on 3 positions already. Yellow flags in sector 1 then. And what has occurred there? There's some cars going around then. Bulky is in the middle and Irvine takes the lead. 2nd position is Jinner. 3rd position is Hammer Time. 4th position, oh goodness me, it's Jose is dropped back. He is down into 5th position and Diashi is now defending his position as well as we're coming up the Kenmore Straight then. There's a lot of slipstreaming then as we're coming up into Lake Com then as Cosmo's weaving this way and that way, but Diashi is parted right exactly where it needs to be in the middle part of the circuit as we come to Lake Com then, and Cosmo's going on the outside. That's a magnificent performance there from Cosmo. Can he do it? He is doing it, but he just yields to the last bit. Look at that, Williams. That's Iron Knight there, and Iron Knight has to the back out of it. There's Picasso in 9th finish as well, and Diashi there is fighting for all he's worth. He's on the medium tires of course then, and I think the Cosmo's on the softs. He needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining, and we're not sure how long the sun will shine around here because the rain is afoot, isn't it, here in the Grand Prix? And look at this as we're going down into a pool already then, and they are I'm loving this bow here as now Iron Knight is Cosmo's gone from attack to defence there in a twinkling of an eye, and he is dropped down into 8th position then. Iron Knight on 7th position. Jose's off. He's off the circuit. He's had a great start to the championship, but he's off the track. Oh, that's not good at all. Has he damaged the car? No, he hasn't then, and Bulky just sneaks by and Jose dropping down the order then, and Jim Strav is I've got to say looking very lively there, isn't he? Goodness me. And he's now like oh gosh there, and he is all over the back then of Jose at the moment, and I'm closing my eyes then. Oh gosh, I've also had a cough as well. And to go back to this battle here then, and oh goodness me, Picasso from a long way back there, and oh goodness me, they're almost going to the side of that Red Bull, and that was very well controlled there from Picasso. Impressive stuff indeed. Cosmo coming across the line, so look at, oh my goodness me, there's cars all over the show here. That one completed. The gap is at 9/10 of a second, and here at the start of the Belgian Grand Prix, there's car into the back, then Falsey's got into the back, he's damaged the McLaren, and when he runs to the back of Winnie there, he is, that's a major problem then for the McLaren. He is going to have to come into the pits because that is humongous amount of damage on this circuit with the amount of turning you need. Then it's Ferrari's off. Vinny is off the circuit. He is gone. He's gone in a big way. He's still spinning around there. That's a humongous smash. It's a virtual safety car. Oh gosh, Styles, Scooby Stew, and Liam D have all come in the pits, and Josie's got a severe collision there. Full collision with Picasso. Picasso's dropped down to 15th position there. It's a bit of oh goodness me, there is action all over the show here tonight then. Virtual safety car, and Jim Strav is off the circuit at the moment, and of course the man who won last time out in Hungary, and it looks like what's going on here then. I think he's trying to let him through, but it looks as I'm not sure. Look, Picasso's going to be oh gosh, it's not doing too well. Unfortunately, all of them are going to be losing a lot of time as well. Virtual safety cars out at the moment, up 9 positions is Folksy, but unfortunately Folksy is going to be a limping, wounded McLaren now, though, isn't he? Look at that end plate, it's completely gone, isn't it? And that is not good at all, is it? Oh dear, and we've now got a drive-through penalty for Styles, and he's having a nightmare start to the Grand Prix, isn't he? Styles is, unfortunately, he had a nightmare Hungarian Grand Prix. It's now a snowball effect, isn't he? He's at the back of the field. He's now got a drive-through penalty there for, unfortunately, for speeding under the virtual safety car, and now back on board once again. 7/10 a second the gap between Jinner and Irvine, and then we're on board then with Starbust, and he's not, oh my goodness me, he's having going Blanchard. He is, and there's Duncan as well then, and look at this, and he is flying past there, and Kaz is struggling. He is struggling there, and look at Duncan, he's on the outside as well, and ZGS has got past Picasso. We've got DRS enabled at the end of the third lap, and of course there's a standard Grand Prix for that, isn't it? And we're going to hop, skip and a jump over the curb side. Kaz is dropping down like a stone, then Bulky's up 8 positions there. Magnificent start there for Bulky, and he has got all his pieces in the right direction as well. Magnificent start there for Bulky. He's coming through the field like a hot knife through butter. On board with Bulky is on the soft tires. Duncan is on the medium tires as we're on board with Bulky in the AlphaTauri. He is the biggest mover apart from Folksy, who's on done as Hammer Time is over the second position. Then good stuff indeed there for Hammer Time as we come up at the top of lane column. He is through. Good stuff indeed there. And look at this, and Diashi is all over the back of you, mad bro, or is it the other way around? I do not know. So we got also Starburst is still behind Folksy as well, and we have also, oh goodness me, Folksy's gone wide down. He is struggling now. He is really struggling. He's understeered all over the show on that car, isn't he? As we're just taking a look then, and so we're coming into perilous turn 8 and 9 as well then, as we're now on board then with Starbust as well. Folksy's struggling. He's on the soft tire as well, unfortunately, as we're coming down into Puyol as well. Look at them flying through there. These stop runners have gone to the soft tires for Scuba Stew and Liam and Winnie as well. Picasso's on the hard tires. Styles is on the medium tires, and he almost went to the back. Starbust did of Folksy. He is struggling, isn't he? He is a limping, wounded McLaren at the moment, isn't he? As we accelerate out then, and look at this. Oh goodness me, that is not going to happen there. And Duncan is now, oh, he's gone wide. Duncan is there, and he's gone very well. Bulky's too far back though to strike whilst the iron's hot then, and now he's got a Ferrari all over the back of him as well. Bulky, as we're going to keep an eye to see what happens there, but I think Bulky is restraining the Ferrari quite nicely indeed. There he is in the background. A great start to the Grand Prix. 1.5 seconds in. For Irvine is in front of Hammer Time as well. Hammer Time is also got, oh, is folks, he's in the pits there, and yes, he is coming in the pits there, and we got so this battle resumes then with Folksy coming in the pits. What a shame for Folksy, because he had a cracking start, didn't he, here in the Grand Prix, but unfortunately he's dropping down the order, isn't he? Now, oh my goodness me, that's a McLaren off, that's a Jinner who's gone off the circuit there, and now he's very much on the back foot, and now we've got Diashi all over the back of him as well, as they come up to Lake Calm as well. It's a drag race, but Jinner might have to yield here at the top of the hill. He has indeed, unfortunately, as that is a major mistake there over Radion there, and that is a huge blow indeed. Duncan's all over the back of Starbust as well. Is Duncan go get through then? That's a bit of a rubbish camera shot. That's Bella, and now then he's all over the back of Starbust then, and are really pushing that Renault there. Starbust is not going to yield. He is second in the World Championship own Starbust, isn't he? And going down then into Folksy retires. A safety car. It's a safety car. Folksy, it's gone off at the top of the hill, and it is a first safety car tonight then. And what a shame for Folksy there. He was living in cloud 9 at the start of this race. After only 4 laps, he is out of the Grand Prix. What a shame now, because he was having a magnificent start to the Grand Prix. He's gone off in a big way at the top of the hill, and that's the safety car who is going to roll the dice and come in to the pit set. Let's find out, shall we? So then the soft tire runner is going to come in the pit side. At the moment, the chance of rain might be diminishing here, because look, it's absolutely beautiful sky out here at the moment, isn't it? Of course, rain is never too far away here in Belgium, is there? As of course, that has very much been my topic of conversation here tonight. It's about the weather, isn't it? Because I need to be the weatherman, don't I? Let's go on board of Irvine, and he is coming in the pit side. All of the soft runners are in the pit side. Diashi is the highest of the runners on the medium tires, who stays out in Jinner, who would have been the highest of the medium runners. I made a mistake last time out, didn't he? But of course, his teammate also made a mistake as well. But his teammate, it it was a crucial mistake, and because of that, then he is out of the Grand Prix. It's the first retiree here in Belgium. Then, so that's such a shame. Is that so? Irfan is gone on to the medium tires, and Hammer Time on the medium tires. Well, look, that's a changeful position there. Hammer Time has gone in front of Irfan, and what about Duncan? Duncan has stayed out there on the medium tires. He's also allowed to overtake because Irfan is not out of the pit technically. Now he is then, and Duncan is up into 4th position now. Irfan down to 5th. Josie in 6th position. You mad bro in Iron Knight is on the hard tires, and as is Cosmo. Starburst is coming out of the pits now. Bulky is also on the hard tires. Kaza on the medium tires. Jim Strav hard tires. We're watching Scooby Stew, who's going on to the medium tires. There is action galore and lovely shots here. We got Ferrari mechanics ready as well. And what about Haas of Styles? And I think Styles is going to be very happy with this. Like I say, the race was going very much to pot in the opening stage then. Liam going on to the hard tires. It looks like he's done 2 laps on those hard tires already, Liam has said. So not going to be the fresh tires, is there, for Liam then that he would have wanted then. So we've got a safety car. Hopefully he won't be out for too long in this race then. Let's just take a look at the classification, shall we? We're on lap 5 out of 22 here. We've still got a long way to go then. So safety car is out now. I think we've had a safety car in almost have we had a safety car in every single race this week? I think we have, haven't we? Good stuff indeed then. Well, I think it's good for me anyway. I love when the safety car's out. Right then, there's Diash is in the Grand Prix on his return to ALR. Fantastic stuff. Gina in 2nd position. Hammer Time in 3rd. 4th, and he is the highest of the runners who has pitted there. He is going to be a major thorn in the side of the 2 in front because he's going to be on fresher tires, and that is going to very much help him. It's going to very much help him out, isn't he, in the coming lap set. Duncan in 4th position there. He is coming through the field quite nicely indeed. Irvine, who was on pole position, he lost out to Hammer Time, and then he unfortunately also it's also now lost out to Duncan as well. He's down to 5th then. Irvine, they said, let's see what he can do. His teammate Josie, who unfortunately had a problem there earlier on the race, he dropped right down to the back of the field. He's back in the 4th now, but he's got You Mad Bro and Iron Knight behind him now. Vinny's got a 3-second penalty. That's quite a cheap penalty to give away there from Winnie. Unfortunately, as that's a 3-second penalty under the safety car there. He might be a bit disappointed with that one. ZGS in at 9th position now on the medium tires. Cosmo in 10th position on the hard tires. So Starbus 11th on the hard tires. Bulky in 12th position on the hard tires. Kaz in 13th position on the medium tires. Jim Strav, the championship leader on the hard tires. They keep watching fly. Picasso in 15th position also on the hard tires as well. Styles will be very happy. He's back in the thick of things in 16th position now. Winnie in 17th. Scooby Stewart's 18th, and Liam D is in 19th position, bringing up the rear in the Renault then. Into the pits there comes Picasso then, and I wonder, is he coming into the pits there to change his stripes then? I wonder, he's now on the medium tires and Picasso is there. I wonder if the Mercedes gantry there, the Mercedes pit wall has just said, coming to the pits there, going to the medium tires. Rain is still in the air, and so that could potentially be the quickest way in this Grand Prix. So we'll find out then, but Picasso this will be a very interesting development there. We could be looking back on this in a couple of laps time and saying that this is a potential race changing maneuver then, as now then Burt Malander is out at the moment, and so then we're at the top of Lecom as well then. So safety cars out at the moment then, after Folksy on a big crash there. Serious Mushroom then is as just said, he's had a bit of a mare, hasn't he? Unfortunately, Folksy has. He had a great start to the Grand Prix. He was at 9 positions, wasn't he, Folksy was? But unfortunately, that's how quickly you can go from hero to villain in this sport, can't you? You could be on the drive of your life then, just like Persia were, and then unfortunately it just completely unravel in front of your eyes, and that's unfortunate what's happened to Folksy here in the Grand Prix. I'm not sure what's going on here, as Jim Straub is just dropping in and behind his teammate as well, but at the moment the 2 Haas cars are 14th and 15th position, albeit Jim Straub is actually representing the Williams tonight then. Oh goodness me, then I think that's what's happening there. I don't think Stars is going to be liking that whatsoever. Willie is that is a bit dangerous to say the least, isn't it? And as Jim Straub has gone off the circuit there, and I think, Jim Straub just going off the circuit there slightly. They need to bunch up behind the safety car, because when it comes in there, they cannot be too far behind that, otherwise they're going to lose vital ground in this Grand Prix, aren't they? And there is a long way to go still. We ain't even at half distance yet. We've already had a safety car. We've had a virtual safety car as well. The lights are off on the safety car. Bert Malander is now going to charge away from Diashi. Diashi is now the de facto safety car. So we got collisions galore in this battle here between Kaza and the two Ferraris have come to blows there, and Winnie has damaged his car majorly there. Both Ferraris have really shot themselves in the foot here. Oh dear, that's not good at all for the Ferrari team. What a blow there, and it's two nightmare nights, isn't it, for the Ferrari team, last night and tonight as well. Oh goodness gracious me then. And Kaz has got a 5-second penalty, and I think so is Winnie as well then, as we're now then starting to get back into things as well then. And out of the final turn then, let's go again, shall we? So Diashi is now leading the race then, but he's now got Jinner or for company as well, as we go into last source as well then, as we're on board then. Is Diashi's gone slightly wide then, so Jinner has got no DRS just yet, but he does have the slipstream then. And let's see then, what is Diashi going to do then? Here, of course, this is Diashi's first race in ALR for a very long time, not the season, but for a couple of weeks at least, as Jim Stravis just got past Scooby Stew then, as we're now cutting up the Camel Straight as well. Look at this, and there's a lot of slipstream as well. There's a big gap between the racing point and the Sauber, the Alfa Romeo in the background, and Jinner then is just too far back at the moment. And just take a look, then we got Jim Strav and Jim Strav in the stalls then, who are just swapping positions as well, coming down the Camel Straight, and Picasso is quite close to the back of his teammate then, but too far with him on it. Winnie coming out of the pits now, as unfortunately he's damaged his front wing then. Irvine is, oh my goodness me, and Duncan there, as Fido, not sure if he was defending or whatnot, but Duncan there into the corner with no name. That's very unusual. I think that Irvine needs to get the job done quite pronto here, because he can see his rivals in the foreground. Look, that's already 1.5 seconds in front of Duncan there, and Duncan is on the older hot medium tires here, and he needs to catch up with Hammer Tom, doesn't he? Because Hammer Tom is just waltzing away at the moment in the Grand Prix. Irvine at this crucial part of the race, isn't it? For Irvine. And look at this, he's all over the back now with Duncan as well. Look at this, and he is now starting slipstream now. The top three, then we got positions gaining, swapping left, right, and centre here. And just take a look, and I think I've missed that. But come back to Irvine, and Cosmo is very close to the back. Then we got Picasso who's off Bennett Stavolo. It's a virtual safety car for us then, as Picasso is out of the Grand Prix. What a shame for Picasso then. It wasn't looking too bad for Picasso. Unfortunately though, that is the end of that then. Into the pits there comes ZGS, and he is on the medium tires. He did not come to the pits then. It's a good opportunity then for ZG to come to the pits then, because under the virtual safety car you're not adhered to a Delta, are you? So that's why ZGS come to the pits, and it is quicker to pit when they're not at for racing speed then as well. Then there's so now we're back racing once again then. Who is caught their rival sleeping then, as we come up the hill once again then. And look at this then, Jinner is struggling to keep up with Diash at the moment then, as Diash is starting to waltz away then up in the top of Lake Com then, and he's too far back at the moment then. So is Irvine on a Duncan as well. You mad bro also. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the straight is not long enough, is it? Yellow flag. Liam is in the wall. He's in the wall. Oh goodness me, and he's come back onto the circuit there. And yes, at the moment, so that's a yellow flag. I don't think it's a safety car. We're keeping an eye to see what Bernd Mylander's doing. He's not doing a lot then. I think he's got his newspaper out. So yes, I think that Liam is out of the Grand Prix. No safety car. And what a shame then for Liam D. He was not liking this circuit, was he? And I think that shows it. And that is such a shame. We lost 3 drivers. We've lost Folksy, Picasso, and Liam at the opening stage of this Grand Prix. Yellow flags then, as we have got Starburst is off it. Puyong as well. He comes back on the circuit, and Starburst then, who's second in the World Championship, dropping down the order. And we've now got Scooby Stew's got past him as well, and Starburst all the way down into 14th position there. Starbust, I should say. And what a shame there for Starbust. Going back to this battle here, and this is going to be a tense. Oh, this is going to be a tense affair, isn't it? Oh, and nowadays we're coming through Blanchimont as well. And Jinner at the moment there is doing just enough then to keep in front of Hammer Time, and this is good for Diashi. But look, Jinner's now out of the DRS range of the race leader, and that is crucial. And there it is. DRS has now been disabled. But at the moment, that is no good for Jinner. That is very good for Hammer Time now. And look at this, that is, he is, he's gone wide, does he? He's lost momentum there. That's going to lose him a abundance amount of time then. Well, not too much, actually. He's still 6/10 of a second back. But he would like to have been right under his gearbox as well, as we got yellow flags in a sector 1 then. I'm not sure what that was for then. I was just taking a look then, going back up to this battle here then. And look at this then. We have got Irvine then, who's just too far back then. But look at this. Hammer Time on the outside. He's on the outside, but Jinner is not yielding. Irvine's on the outside as well, and Irvine might have done it, but Duncan is not yielding here. This is great racing. This is great racing. Motor racing at its best. Oh, magnificent stuff there. And Irvine dances on the outside. He is through. I'm in the fourth position there. Duncan jumped down to fifth then, but he was not given over that fight. I love that. That was magnificent stuff there. Show me that all day long. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Gordon saying it's a Jim Strav spun as well as Starbus, and so that's two of the championship leaders then. They have had a bit of a mare in this race so far. Unfortunately then, but they're both in the race still. And Jim Strav has gone to the soft tires. Let's see what he can do then for the remainder of this race then. Back on board then with Hammer Time then, and look at that then, he's now 2.3 away from Diashi, and these are crucial laps certainly in the Grand Prix. Still no rain on the horizon just yet, is it? There is Diashi starting to pull away now, see, from Jinner and from Hammer Time as well. Starbust has got past the Styles, and there he is, and Styles dropping down into 13th position now, as Starbust is now up into 12th position as he's trying to, oh, who's that? That's Bulky off then. Oh, Bulky has got off the circuit there as he tries to come back around, and what a shame for Bulky. Diashi has set the fastest up of the race, and Styles is all over the back of the Starbust once again then, so we're coming up to the bus stop chicane. Not as an easy overtake as it used to be around here, is it? Which is which is still, you see, it really gets my goat, doesn't it, when when they change the track, then when you don't really need to change it, but there you go. And we've just now going back with Howard Thomas coming out the top. Oh, lovely shot there. Look at that then, brilliant stuff. Jinner is magnificent. See, ZGS set the fast up of the race there on those soft compound tires, and Hammer Time is all over the gearbox of the McLaren. He is alongside the McLaren. He is past the McLaren. He moves up into second position. Job done. 2.2 seconds. Remember that gap, because now he's got to really try and reel that down. Can he do it then? As Diashi is still on the start tires, which he started this race on then, and still no rain at the moment then. On board then with Josie. Look at Duncan there. He is very much keeping up with Irvine at the moment there, isn't he? So I think he'll be very happy at the pace at the moment. Duncan doing a great job out there for the Williams driver. Good stuff indeed. Serious Rose saying this will be Diashi's first win. Come on, Ash the Bash. We've also got Liam saying well, I made a stupid mistake at the top of Radion. Don't worry about it, Liam. We've all been there. All of us have been there. Experienced drivers, race winners, and newbies like myself. We've all been there. So yes, it's just a bit unfortunate, isn't it? It's such a tough. You need low downforce from the majority of the circuit, don't you? And then that's where you probably need the peak downforce. And unfortunately, the car won't have it, will they? And that's such a shame there for Liam. He is out of the Grand Prix. He's the latest casualty at the top of the hill then at Radion then. We've just got a bit of spread it out now, haven't we? So Jinner is still within the DRS at the moment. Diashi has got a quite comfortable lead, hasn't he, at the moment? 2.4 seconds. That's good enough, isn't it? He's out of DRS range. He is actually holding that line as well, holding that time quite nicely as well. Good stuff indeed there for Diashi. We've got Irvine, who is a second back there from Jinner at the moment, and then we've got Duncan and Josie, which we're watching now. Josie's had a great return back up from the field, and after making a mistake earlier on the Grand Prix, and Iron Knight and New Mad Bro at the moment, they are currently 7th and 8th fast. They haven't made too much inroads at the moment, have they? So it's worth saying great points for Williams at the moment then. Indeed it is, Thursday for Duncan and for Iron Knight then. But yeah, I'm surprised that I thought that these guys would be a bit more up there at Iron Knight and New Mad Bro, but maybe I'm being a bit impatient here, perhaps. Bulky there is just down in 17th position now, unfortunately, but let's see what Bulky can do for there. This race is not done and dusted yet, is it? We have got look at this, and then just as I say that, I look into the heavens there is clouds gathering here tonight, isn't there? We are expecting rain 45 minutes into the race, which I was expecting around about now, to be honest, but that's not happened just yet. Jim Strauss said the fast lap race, the championship leader, who is right down to the back of the field, but Bulky is gone on the outside there. Goodness me, he's gone through him. Bulky has a throwing caution to the wind. Bulky, as he is now up from 16th position there. Good overtake there into Last Source. Very impressive indeed. They don't see many overtakes to the Last Source. Good stuff back from Bulky. Josie is now half a second back then from Duncan, and he feels then that he needs to he feels then that he might need to get the job done sooner rather than later, but both these two are on the same life of tyre, aren't they? So he hasn't got the advantage in terms of tyres, but hasn't got the advantage in terms of the car performance then. Well, he's 4/10 a second back. Look at this, and he's in the slipstream at the moment, and he is now flying up to the back of Duncan then. The gap still at the front there is 2.3 seconds. The gap is starting to come down slowly as the cloud cover is starting to come over then here in Spa, and I reckon it's actually Iron Knight and New Mad Bro keeping on those two drivers, and Starbust as well, on the hard tyres then, and I was thinking that maybe the medium tyre was the way to go. Well, not at the moment though, is it? Because I think that the rain is still quite far away, and we'll see how long the rain will be though, because well, if that is the case, then the hard tyre runs are going to be very happy. They're going to be grinning from ear to ear, aren't they? Whilst the medium tyres, they're going to have to start to really tippy toe in, especially the drivers that started on the side of the race on the medium tyres then, as we're now on board with Jose as we're going up into Lake Com as well. Just seen a couple of reports about Jim Strav as you mad bro is on the outside, and he passes Iron Knight and moves up into 7th position now. Iron Knight dropped down to 8th position then, and you mad bro is going to be very happy with that. And now has he got the pace, and he's got about a 4-second deficit between himself and Jose to maybe get himself back in a front end of and maybe get himself back up to the back end of the racing point as well. So just watching this, and Junior has now started to home in on Hammer Time. Has Hammer Time made a mistake somewhere? I don't think he has, but he's really strong at this stage of proceedings, isn't he, Hammer Time? And he does have the fresher medium tyres, but this is not it's not helping him at all at this stage of the Grand Prix. It's oh goodness me, 10 laps to go, I should say. Then there's a yellow flag into what's happening to it's a Renault. Is it a Renault? No, listen, I'm with Salim Porkies. It might have been a Renault there, but I'm wondering if Starbus then had a bit of a moment or free, and he just had to recover that. Look at this, a bit of slipstream then for the Williams and the racing point once again then, as they come through Blanchimont as well then, up into the bus stop chicane then, and now then look at this, and breaking down into second gear as well. Look how tight that bus stop chicane is as well then. Don't want to get on the power too early. We've seen Picasso who got on the power tour there in the qualifying session. Unfortunately, because of that then, he spun the rear tyres, and look at this, and now on the inside Jose goes, and that's very much a day late and a dollar short there. It was a lunge. Duncan there just watched his rival go by, and he was back for it, and very karmish like there from the Williams star. Good stuff indeed. And Serious Russian saying it's going to rain in 3 laps, trust me. And he reckons it's going to be in the next 3 laps, isn't he? Irvine is now all on the back now with Jenner and Hammer Tom as well, so Irvine can see his rival directly in front of him, and Diashi is really starting to struggle now, isn't he? Because the gap has come down to about half a second in the last lap or two. Goodness me. So this race is far from done. There are the rain clouds above us, and Serious Mushroom 3 laps then. You heard it here first, folks, then. So Serious Mushroom is going to keep a close eye on the weather. I'm keeping a close eye on this battle for second position there, which is Hammer Time, Jenner and Irvine at the moment, then, who is on our pole sitter. And once again, we have the pole sitter is not currently winning the race at the moment. Now, as I said, it's a poison chalice in Cobalt at the moment, isn't it? But Irvine would love to put that chalice there to bed, won't he? Iron Knight there has got a 3-second penalty for his name. Irvine has as well then, as he went too wide, didn't he? As you see him, and look at Diash there, he's really put a spurt on there. I think that Hammer Time also go all out of shape as well, perhaps then. No rain yet though, but Jenner, look, there's Diash, he's just pulling away now in this Grand Prix. Diash is not, he hasn't won a Grand Prix, as Serious Mushroom said, in ALR history, in his ALR history career. This could be a great start then to Cobalt for Diashi. And look at this, that is Hammer Time is at the inside. No dice then going into the bus stop chicane, and Diashi is hanging out to dry. He's doing magnificently on those medium tires. How is he keeping those medium tires alive? How is Jenner keeping those medium tires alive? That is absolutely spectacular, isn't it? Indeed, that from all of those guys who aren't on the pitch yet. Hats off to Diashi, Jenner, Duncan, Jose as well. Brilliant stuff for those drivers not to come on the pitch there, to absolutely time this to perfection, perhaps as well, as they come through Eau Rouge as well. Once again then, for the 14th time then, Irvine's all over the back of Jenner now. Irvine knows his time is now, as he is on the outside of the camel straight. Is it job done? It isn't job done, because Jenner is not giving up, is he? Look at this there, wheel to wheel going down the straight as well. Where is Jenner? He's about to break early because of those tires there. Irvine has got the job done. He is up into 3rd position. Jenner dropping down into 4th position in the McLaren. And next target is the man who he's been dicing with. Gap is back. He's yo-yoing up between 3 seconds and 2.5 seconds there, isn't it, between Diash and Hammer Time. Hammer Time needs to get some needs to get Hammer Time on now, doesn't he, really? But I think that consistency might be the key here. Hammer Time just needs to get some qualifying laps in now, doesn't he? Otherwise, Diashi has definitely got the high ground, especially if the rain comes now, because Diashi hasn't pitted, of course, but if the rain comes, he won't need to worry about that, will he? Now on board with Irvine as well, and the rain then is still, look at that, and there is rain in the air, isn't it, here in the Ardennes Forest. We shouldn't be surprised, should we? Jenner is really dropping off the back now. It's the hard tires, the medium tires have their day. Have they had their day then? Because look, the gap is down to 2 seconds as well. This race is starting to swing around once again for the early stoppers under that first safety car. Duncan is all over the back of Jenner. Jenner is losing time, hand over fist here at the stage of the Grand Prix. And look at this, as Duncan is all over the back. He's going on the outside to the bus stop chicane. He breaks so much there. He's on the outside. He'll have the inside for the second part. He is through. Jenner is having to come into the pits. I think he has to come into the pits. His tires are falling off a cliff there. Oh goodness me! And now then now the race has really swung then into the driver's end. They'd have come into the pits earlier on then. And remember, what about you mad bro and Iron Knight then on the hard tires? What if the rain doesn't come at all? What if I've been absolutely gas bagging, then perhaps there's absolutely no rain afoot then, perhaps then. Soft tires for Jenner. I would say that there he's definitely feeling that there's something coming, and he's going to go for a spurt, isn't he? There's some stage, but hammer time is again there, dropping back from Diashi. He was down to 1.9 seconds there in the second intermediate split time, but I feel that this is the sector here where hammer time needs to push it now, doesn't he? Starburst is all over the back of Kaz. Look at that, and he flies there alongside. Then he is past Kaz, moves over to the 9th position. Starbusters, and he is now through past the Ferrari. That's right on the cockpit, the Ferrari of Kaz. Oh goodness me, Kaz will be having flashbacks of the race in Hungary a week ago or so ago. Oh goodness gracious me then. And look at this then. So the rain is coming. How heavy is it going to be? Serious Russia very much right on the money there. And get in Duncan as well, as he is in 4th position, isn't he? Duncan is there hanging on to those tyres, and nicely indeed, isn't he? Duncan is, and he hasn't come to the pits either. And look, the gap is down to 1.1 seconds there, isn't it? I think that as Jenner is got past Kaz and got up into, and now we've got Vinny and Jim Strav there. Jim Strav, oh, there's contact there. There's contact with the Ferrari and the Haas car. Who Jim Strav is actually driving the Williams tonight. He's just oh no, and that's a day lane, a dollar short there from Winnie, and he is spun it, and I think that was a desperation move there, wasn't it? Unfortunately for the Ferrari driver. And look at this as we're coming to the bus stop chicane once again then, lap 16 then, and I've got to say Diashi's own a magnificent performance there on those medium tires. Fantastic stuff indeed. He needs to hold on, doesn't he, for another few laps or so then. But I think this is the time for Hammer Time to really start to pull his toe down now, doesn't he? He needs to make hay whilst this rain is whilst it is still on the dry tires, doesn't it? Yellow flag then as we got an Alfa Romeo who's come a cropper. It is oh goodness me, it's ZGS and having some issues there, coming out Blanchimont then, and he is recovering, and he's on a nightmare race, isn't he? And look at this, where is Starbust? There he is, and there's Jenner trying to put his toe down. Duncan has dropped down the order then. Where is he? Oh no! And look, he's in the wall! He's in the wall! And we've had contact at the top of the hill, and Duncan there, who's had a magnificent debut here in ALR Cobalt, and all his hard work is coming to nothing now. But look, it wasn't spray oil, it was just the exhaust gases there out the back of the Williams there, and it was unfortunately a bit too close for comfort there, wasn't it? He actually could be in trouble here then from re-intermediate tires for CGS said, let's go on board then with Hammer Time then. And look, the rain then, I don't think Hammer Time then almost losing it there. It's very much I know Cosmo's through as well. It is very much tippy toe weather now, isn't it then? And I feel that it's Diashi then. Is he going to come in the pits, or is he going to hang it out then? Can he hang it out then as well? Look, there's Irvine as well. This is the battle for the top 3 positions there. Diashi, Hammer Time, Irvine, all in the same picture then with 6 laps to go in the Belgian Grand Prix. And once again we have got rain here in the Ardennes Forest. Lovely shot for the Red Bull driver. Duncan dropping down the order. What a shame for Duncan. Bulky and CGS are coming into the pits. Diashi has stayed out. He is staying out. He's hanging tough, isn't he? He's hanging tough on the medium tires who have done 16 laps in this Belgian Grand Prix. You mad bro, it's up in the 4th position there, and I think you'd be very interested now then. I think and Hammer Time then is getting too aggressive there on the accelerator, and that's going to allow Irvine in now, isn't it? I think Irvine is looking the cooler of the two at the moment, isn't he? And look at this, and Diashi is now out of the DRS range as well as we come over the radio, and then Hammer Time's got a 3-second penalty as well. Diashi's got no penalties yet. Then Jolsey's in the pits. He's on the intermediate tires. Yellow flags. It's Cutman Cropper, and what's happened then? And that's Styles. He's facing the wrong way on the start finish straight then, and Styles is on a difficult start to life in Cobalt. Cobalt, isn't he? Unfortunately, as he tries to come back on the circuit, then intermediate tires for Josie at the moment. Then we've still got it's not. I don't think it's ready for the rain tires just yet. I'm keeping on to see what Josie does. And he is fourth fastest. Sorry, he's fourth on the go. He was fourth in the order when he came in the pits, wasn't he? Look at how gingerly they are going around the circuit now, aren't they? They are very much dabbing the throttle now, aren't they? Goodness me, it's like a golfer with a putter now, isn't it? They are not really stamping. They've not got the old driver out anymore, have they? They got to tap-a-roo that throttle now, haven't they? As we're coming into the Fania chicane, look at this, and hammer time. Then this is where he needs to strike it now, doesn't he? The rain is coming down. Then he has the advantage of the tires at the moment, doesn't he? Diassi doesn't, but hammer time there's just getting a bit too squirrely on those curbs, doesn't he? But Diassi, look at him, he's struggling to get the power down, and this might help hammer time as well. And once again, coming up into the final part of the circuit again through Belgium. This is a scary part of the circuit when you're on slick tires on a damp track. Diassi there is harvested. He can sense it. DRS has been disabled. Then I think in his time as Kaz is now is in trouble and he's out of the race at the Fania chicane, and there's a safety car. They're all in the pits. How unlucky was hammer time there? He was going for the race lead, and then the safety car came out just at the wrong time there. Oh my goodness me. And oh, that Ferrari is well off the circuit there. And Kaz has had a big smash there. And, of course, Giovinazzi had a smash around there as well, didn't he? In the 2019 Grand Prix. But he was driving the Alfa Romeo. The intermediate tires are the way to go now then. So where is Josie? Josie is still coming around the final turn then. Diassi leads hammer time in second. Irvine is in third position. I feel that look into the pits now. Also comes Iron Knight as well, thrown onto the intermediate tyres. There's 4 laps to go in the Grand Prix. You Mad Bros out in fourth position. Iron Knight in fifth position there. We've got Gino coming down in sixth, seventh position as well. Unfortunately, it's not been a very good day for the rookies thus far, but Gino is still in the points there on his debut then, so that is still a very good job indeed then. Cosmo in eighth position. Starburst out in ninth position as we got Styles there wandering off somewhere, but he's in the pits now in the Haas. A smart lap by Ash the Bosch then. It was indeed, wasn't it? And I've got to say, safety car came out at exactly the right time, didn't it, for Diassi? Good stuff indeed there. And he leads the Grand Prix. Hammer time is second. Irvine in third position. Iron Knight is fourth. Josie in fifth position. Jinner in sixth. Cosmo seventh. Starburst in 8th position. Cosmo in 8th position. Starburst in 9th position. Scooby Stew in 10th. And Duncan in 11th position now. So what can Duncan salvage then for this race? Jim Strav in 13th position now. Hasn't gone the points just yet. ZGS might be able to get the pace to get in back of the points. And Bulky Volcano will also be grinning from ear to ear as well then with his safety car in the final stage of the Grand Prix. And he can get himself maybe some points or two then for the AlphaTauri. But there's another one AlphaTauri at the back, one AlphaTauri at the front then. Lap 18 out of 22 then. Let's see then what this does. So the moment it's just lyrating on an intermediate tire conditions then. No standing water just yet here in Spa then, but this can turn to a deluge in the twinkling of an eye. So do not go anywhere, folks, and do not rest on your laurels either on those intermediate tires. It could go from win to bust in a short time, can't it? Right then. So I think the safety car will be out for possibly one more lap, and then we'll get back going again. I hope so, because I really want to see a racing end then to this epic Grand Prix here in Cobalt. Magnificent stuff indeed. Then only 4 retirements thus far. Kaz are going off in a big way. I'm thinking might have been down to the weather conditions there. Liam D also on a big smash at the top of the hill. Radion Picasso out of the race, and Folksy also out of the race as well. 16 cars are left in the Grand Prix, and a very good stuff indeed then for the Cobalters here tonight. Great stuff then. As Sirishmush says, it's going to be a last lap. It's going to be a 3-lap dash then. So yes, indeed. Then it's going to be a splash and dash then around here, isn't it? But usually that's a term for the fuel, the refueling days. But the end here around here, it's going the splash is for the rain. The dash is because we're going to have a 3-lap sprint race until the end of the Grand Prix. We got lap 19, then we got 20, 21, and 22. Hopefully from lap 20 onwards, it will be a race to the finish then as well. Then and that's exactly what we did. Then 3 more laps then around the Belgium Grand Prix. It's been an absolute festival of speed, hasn't it? Here in Belgium in ALR for the 4-day event. Then we 4-day extravaganza here, hasn't it? Of course, gold, silver, bronze, and cobalt. Brilliant races, haven't it? Oh, loved them all then. And we're hoping for are open for a very good end then to the Grand Prix then. So then hopefully the safety car being then, it's like we're on board with Bulky at the moment then, as he's been fighting an uphill battle, hasn't he, since the issues in Quali 1 then. Let's see what he can do from the back of the field then. Can he get some points then? I feel there's still points on the offering for anyone in this Grand Prix, so do not go anywhere, folks, then. I think this is going to be a very good end then to the Grand Prix. Serious question, what are the penalties? Oh, but let's take a look then. So we got 9 seconds worth of penalties for Scooby Stew and for Styles. That may be a problem. Cosmo is on 6 at the moment. No penalties there for ZGS, for Starbust, for you Mad Bro and Diashi. Hats off to all those drivers there for not getting penalties. Really magnificent stuff indeed there for all those drivers there. And I got to say, I'll tip my toupee off to you guys. Good sirs. Really good stuff, Fed. And so now then we're just on board Bulky then. 10 seconds of gap between himself and Winnie then. And he's just catched up to the back now. So then, as we're coming up to Lake Com, then the track's got very wet quite quickly around here. So the intermediate tires should be able to get through this weather conditions, but you have to be careful. The intermediate tires does exactly what it says on the tin, of course. It's in between the wet and the slick tires, of course, and it's got an incredible operating range, hasn't it, the intermediate tires? So from a virtually dry track to almost a saturated track like it is now. It's brilliant, isn't it, these tires are there. I got to say, they're a magical tire. They really are indeed. That, of course, my earliest memory of the intermediate tires was when Ferrari threw them on in Malaysia in that incredible downpour in 2001. And remember, they were both 11th and they were both 10th and 11th on the grid, and somehow they come back to win 1-2 in that incredible race there. Absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? That was the Bridgestone intermediate tyre, a very magical tyre indeed. This is the Pirelli intermediate tyre, as it is. We've no longer got any more tyre wars in Formula 1. Back in 2001, we had the Michelin as well as the Bridgestone, didn't we? Right then. So anyway, enough about the history lesson. Let's get back on with the racing, shall we? And Diashi is going to be the de facto safety car for one more time, as we have got 3 laps then to decide who is going to be the third Grand Prix winner of Cobalt. We're going to have 3 different Grand Prix winners in the first 3 races of Cobalt, and that's what we like to see, isn't it? When is Diashi going to drop the hammer then? On board with Diashi. Look at him. We're looking over his bumper. We're back racing here in a spot then. Who is going to have the confidence in these wet weather conditions? Diashi leads. Second is Hammer Time, and third position is Irvine, and that's the top 3. But Irvine is under pressure already from you Mad Bro. I gotta say, he's my self-proclaimed Rainmaster. Jinner has gone up in his 6th position, but he's being closely. Oh my goodness me! Are they going to go side by side to a Rouge? Oh gosh, not quite then. As Jinner then backs out of that then, as all going over radio on this one. And look at as we just flicking over there as well. There's Duncan all over the back of Scooby Stew. He has technically got that position there, and look at Jim Straff's all over the back of Styles as well. Jim Straff driving the Haas there for one night only, and look at Bulky's in front as well. CGS and Vinny are coming very close together, and as we got Jim Straff, who has got past Styles and up into 12th position, I should say. That Jim Straff going to salvage a point or 3 in this Grand Prix, can he? Good some indeed there from Jim Straff, and I think he's got the fast up still, actually. So 1.2 seconds gap is then Diashi there. This is first Grand Prix in ALR. First could be his first Grand Prix win in ALR history there. He's going to be, I think he might be a bit nervous here at this stage of proceedings, won't he? As is he going to tense up though? Because Diashi has never been in this position before in ALR. But let's see what he can do. And you Mad Bro, I got to say, you can never put anything past this man though, because he is magnificent in the wet, isn't he? And once again, he has shown it now that Jinner is driving smarts for sure. And indeed he has, because I think someone like me would have tried to overtake it to Rouge there and probably would have crashed heavily. But no, Jinner is thinking about the long game, thinking about the points for the McLaren and for himself as well. Good stuff indeed there for Jinner. Really impressive stuff on board with you Mad Bro there. And now he's starting to put a spurt on this in these wet weather conditions. Are on board there. Irvine just in front of us at the moment. He's gone wide into Blanchimont then as a yellow flag and free. Iron Knight is off. He is off in a big way. Look, there's Devereaux across the circuit there. Iron Knight is out of the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me. And Iron Knight then, 2 Grand Prix in a row now. He is out of the race. What a shame there. He's gone off in the same place where Raikkonen went off in 2008 then, which effectively ended his championship charge. And similar conditions to this, where when there was also light rain. Wow, goodness me. Iron Knight there is going to be absolutely devastated with that there. In the top, I think it was in the top 5, wasn't he? What a shame there from Iron Knight. And it's all gone pear-shaped, hasn't it, for the Williams driver. And what a shame indeed then for for Williams as well. And serious rushing there is oh no, fudge! And what a absolute shame. And of course, I'm devastated as well, being a Williams driver as well. As of course, and I'm absolutely devastated, really, but I think I'm more devastated from Iron Knight from his context as well, because I think he's had a very good race. So he's had a very smart strategy around here. He put on the hard tyres in the middle, stood there, kept himself very much in it to win it, and unfortunately, with just 2 laps to go, he is out of the Grand Prix, and such a shame, isn't it? Such a shame there, isn't it, for Iron Knight? Lovely shot here is Jim Stradfed right now underneath Duncan, and we're watching Jim Stradfed, of course, the championship leader at the moment. However, I think at the end of this race he might lose it then, but he is on course now to get at least a point then, with Scooby Stu having about 9 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. So Jim Stradfed might be able to get a point, or maybe even a couple more then, and he'll be very off with that. Bulky is a couple of seconds behind this battle at the moment then, and I thought he was going off the circuit then. Jim Stradfed was on board then with Duncan, who is also putting the squeeze now as well. Hammer time is dropped right back. Scooby Stu is off there. That is not where you want to be on this track in these conditions, is it? And Scooby Stu is very much shaking that rear end there, isn't he? He is struggling. He is really struggling. And look, oh my goodness me! And I think he, oh gosh, so that was very, very, that was hair and scare stuff, was it, for Scooby Stu? And Duncan almost lost it as well. As perilous conditions out there. Oh, did Scooby Stu close the line a bit too late there, or was that all fair? Oh no, Bulky's off the circuit there, and he's struggling, isn't he, Bulky? He hasn't damaged the car there. He potentially could get some points still then on the final lap then of the Grand Prix. As it's been a action-packed end to this race, hasn't it? Magnificent stuff indeed. That Hammer, Time, and Irvine and a battling away. You Mad Bro might be up in second at the end of this race. Once again, You Mad Bro is very much consistent, isn't he, in this championship, and that it could be valuable, and very valuable indeed, and very valuable as we come over the crest of the hill once again. And look at this, and it's Duncan now. It's all over the back. It's Scooby Stu, and Scooby Stu then, who slammed the door quite rudely shut there on the toes of Duncan. Is he going to have a look there? Look at this. Rain is getting very heavy now, so luckily we're on the final lap then. But I've got to say, if this race had a couple more laps, then I think that we might have had to think about the intermediate tyres as Jim Stradfed is a matrix in the way there from Stars at the moment then, as I think there was a bit of a lag going on there, wasn't it? Oh, and who's that going off there? Is Jinnah again, very close to the wall with no name, or the corner with no name, I should say, which is the wall with no name as well, possibly, then, which is a very sad story, isn't it, really? They all should have a name then, which I'm sure it's a Jackie Hicks turn then, but I think I've made it up then. And as we're on board, as Duncan is through. Oh no, Scooby Stu is off and he's come back on the track there. Scooby Stu has there. Oh, what a shame for Scooby Stu on the final lap there of the Belgian Grand Prix. And oh my word, there it was a very tough race, was it, for Scooby Stu? But oh my goodness me, and I think that he's not going to get any reward there for surviving these appalling conditions here in Belgium. Irvine's got a 3-second penalty right in. That is a crucial blow for Irvine. Oh my goodness me. Out of the final turn, and Diashi, for the first time in his ALR career, wins the ALR Grand Prix. He wins the Belgian Grand Prix in appalling conditions there. Diashi is a Grand Prix winner in ALR. Magnificent performance indeed there for Diashi. Really well done indeed. Then it's of course the crucial part of the race there was he stayed out when the safety car came in there. He kept his head, and he is now the winner of the Belgian Grand Prix season 1 of Cobalt. Fantastic stuff indeed then for Diashi. You Mad Bro once again being consistent, and I think if my maths is correct, which it could not be, which it may not be, which it almost certainly is not be, could potentially be in the lead of the championship then, but I'm not going to predict that then. And as Jim Stradfed's got the driver of the day once again then, so Jim Stradfed's really not sharing that, is he? Look at that there. There's Diashi is going to be absolutely loving life, isn't he? A brilliant performance there from Diashi. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Absolutely great stuff. DJ saying that good race. I would love to race with you guys sometimes. There's a Serious Russian there doing a very good job there. Sign up Tits then as he wants an invite. Go to the ALR website as I can't type it in then. As it's www.alresports.com. Or is it .co.uk? Oh gosh, I'm in trouble now, ain't I? But let's take a final look at the classification, shall we? From the Belgium Grand Prix, Diashi, his first ever Grand Prix win in ALR. Fantastic performance there from Diashi, and how he kept his head there and in his first ever race win is beyond me. Magnificent stuff. He has shown some mettle tonight, hasn't he? You man, bro, once again there, showing that he's got consistency as the key there, and this is the third race in a row he has been in the points, and good stuff from you, man, bro. Hammer time in fourth, Hammer time third, Irvine fourth, Starbus fifth, Yossi sixth, Jinner seventh, Duncan eighth, Jim Strav ninth, 10th position, Cosmo, ZGS 11, Stars 12, Winnie 13th, Bulky 14th, Scooby Stew is in 15th position. Scooby Stew 15th. Retirements: Iron Knight, Kaz, Liam D, Picasso, and Folksy all retire from this epic Belgium Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed then. And I got to say, absolutely fantastic. That really was indeed then. And we're off to China now. Oh, great. But I think, of course, well, I've got to say, I don't think I can do another commentary. I've got to say, I've had a very rough week of commentary this week, haven't I? There's been too much action. I've also been ill. It just can't get, it's been a very difficult week, hasn't it? And going to the comments then, GG lads, and I love your mic is broke, so I can't do comms, but Diashi, fantastic performance there. Let's just highlight you a minute then, if I can remember what car you're in. Oh, goodness me. I think he was in the AlphaTauri, wasn't he? And Diashi, I got to say, fantastic performance tonight in the AlphaTauri. And that's AlphaTauri's second Grand Prix in the season. So magnificent stuff for the AlphaTauri team. That's going to help him in the Cobalt and the joint constructors. But Diashi, magnificent performance for you today. Really good stuff indeed then. And we've also got... Kaza saying GG, we got Bulky Volcano, last grasp, snatch of 14th position there, so good stuff indeed then. Fudge saying good race for Jinner. As a teacher was saying, I was in the kitchen, Sean. Oh, damn it! So I think if you go to the ALR website, www.alresports.com, and then of course there is a join ALR in the top right hand corner, and that is where you can join us from that. And of course, put in your Discord information, and a job is a good one. So yes, good stuff indeed. Then yep, www.alresports.com, and then you can join the fun and action and excitement then. And it's also in the description as well. Thank you, Serious Mushroom. So as I gotta say, good job, Serious Mushroom pays attention, because I certainly don't, do I? DS saying thanks, Sean, thanks for the opportunity. No problem at all. Thanks, Ayrton. Good stuff indeed. Bulky Volcano is loving this. 25 points for the AlphaTauri team. Great stuff indeed then. I don't think anyone's joining me in the gantry, unfortunately, so I think that is going to be it for tonight, as I'm all alone. So, no, there you go. I start off with my mic on mute. I have finished my mic where I can't stop talking. Anyway, it's going to be that's it for us here tonight. Thank you all for joining us over the past 4 days, I should say. Absolutely magnificent stuff. We are back in action in a week's time then. We are at the Temple of Speed for the Italian Grand Prix. It is round 14 of ALR. No, it's round 15 of ALR for gold and silver. Then the championship is starting to look very much like a Renault for both silver and gold. There, what about bronze? Then 9 podium sitters in the first 3 races. Absolutely magnificent. 3 different winners in Cobalt as well. The championship is very much up in the air. See you in Italy in 7 days' time. Goodbye.